Oh, I was muted. Okay, I think I'm live. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Wait, let me check if I'm live. How is everyone doing? I see Felek is first. Me first, says Felek. You sure are, Felek. You're always first. Well, not always, but this time. Today is another warm day in Amsterdam. I could have gone on the streets, but I'm waiting for a package, and which, if I'm not home, they always deliver it fucking far away. So I decided to do some outreach here. Hey, Salgan. And it's also a good opportunity for people who say that they want to debate me, that they go on Discord. So we're going to go on Discord. We're going to have some conversations with people. Hopefully there are people to have conversations with. And if not, you know what? I have some videos we can watch. If not, right? We'll watch some videos and we'll do something about it. So I also have my fan here. Wait, if I turn it on. Do you hear it if I turn it on? Is that? No, I think it's okay. I think you hear more the walking than the fan itself, huh? Yeah, I got a little table fan that it's very retro looking and stuff. It's kind of cool looking. Yeah, and it has this button, this switch. Oh, it's so satisfying to turn on and off because it's like, it's hard to explain. It's one of those switches that goes you know. Very satisfying. Very, very satisfying. Okay. So we got a fan, we got some water, and we're going to be debating some people. Rather be a drunk than an arsehole in the morning? That's fine. Do that. Hey, LTN, nice to see you. Brett is here, Salgun, and Felek. Okay. Well, let's go on Discord. Let's go on Discord. Let's go here. Okay, let's join Discord. Let's hope some conversations are there. Hello.
Hello. Oh, yep.
I am live now, yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So if we hear some great conversations, we can have some great conversations live for everyone to hear. Because Discord is known for great conversation.
Hell yeah. The height of intellectual maturity.
Yeah. Have there been any good conversations today, this morning, by the way? Because I only joined like, what, 20 minutes ago?
Nope.
Okay. Did that guy return from yesterday?
No, not yet, no.
I was curious. Okay. Barry Blakes. Barry Blakes, do you want to have a conversation?
They're already vegan, I guess.
Are they?
Yeah, they told me in the side chat.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Lots of people. Okay, well then I'm gonna go watch some videos and then I'll be back if there are some conversations and a little bit later. I'll mute myself. Well, no. I'll...
Sure.
Yeah, I'll mute myself. Okay. Okay, well there's no conversations on Discord right now, so you know what? Let's just watch something then.
John. How are you, John? Suki. Wanna have a conversation?
Wait, maybe. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine, we'll watch some videos. Maybe we get some people who want to debate us. Nobody is better at ruining ecosystems than humans. Should we build human slaughterhouses? We should. I don't know why that text is so big though, huh? Let me see if I can fix that. Size.
I'm not vegan. What is vegan? What? What is
Only
vegan?
eat soy
Better.
and drink canola oil.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's up?
But what is veganism?
Oh, VP, we had a conversation before, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so why aren't you vegan now?
Dad and well, not always.
So
And
why do
I
you choose
like
to exploit
avoid it.
innocent animals?
What?
Why do you choose to exploit innocent animals for products you don't need?
Sorry, repeat.
Why do you choose to exploit innocent animals for products you don't need?
When did I?
Do you consume animal products?
No, like we had convo and like I agreed to you and I like avoided dairy products like for 3 or 4 days.
So you don't no longer consume any animal products?
No, I do, but I like not as much as before.
So why do you choose to exploit innocent animals when there's no need for it?
And but like sometimes you can't avoid. Like
Why? Is somebody forcing you to consume animal products?
no, but like in remote area, I get whatever I eat. Like I eat whatever I get.
You eat whatever you get. So am I to understand
like,
that 3 days per week you don't get animal products, but one day you do?
No, like my home, my mom buys every day, but I don't eat that every day.
So why not choose to not eat it any day?
Like sometimes I'm hungry and I also need to drink tea.
What does tea have to do with animal products?
No, tea is not for hunger. Tea is like tea is made from milk.
Tea is not made from milk. What are you talking about?
Red tea.
What?
That is made from milk.
Leaves.
Tea is made from leaves. Yeah, what are you talking about?
No, I am not talking about green teas. I am talking about red tea.
What's rate tea? What do you mean by that?
Wait, let me check what it is called.
Are you just a person who adds milk to their tea and you say that you have to?
Yeah, kinda.
By the way, for people who are on YouTube, whenever somebody makes a declaration that they'll go vegan when we have lab-grown meat, as somebody who just said so now, I'm gonna type your name in my notebook here, and
Fine.
whenever there is lab-grown meat, I'm gonna hold you to it. Although you should be vegan right now because we have alternatives. But either way, I wrote your name down.
Now, I want to ask you a question. How do you like see the non-vegetarian and non-vegan person, like stupid idiot or something?
No, I don't place flags on people based on some of the actions that they're doing. I just see most of them as ignorant.
Ignorant, like if someone is having a like debating like whether it is right or wrong, how do you see him?
If somebody's, I don't understand what this question that you're asking me is, and I would appreciate it if we took it case by case, since then I can form an opinion. What you're asking is inflammatory and it doesn't serve any purpose, so I'm not really interested in answering that question. So if you have a question that isn't inflammatory or in some way or form wanting to show that I have some form of bias towards people who consume animal products, then I'm not interested in that because I don't have any bias. As I told you, I just think that most people are ignorant to the issue.
Okay, like I thought you see others as like something stupid idiot something. Okay.
No,
That's all.
just the people who make stupid arguments, make incredibly stupid arguments. I see as stupid. I don't have a superiority complex. It's generally people who consume animal products that have superiority complex because they think they're superior to animals, and they think that because of that, then it's justified to cut their throats and eat them. Abe, we've already had a conversation. Do you want to mic up? It seems like your reasoning for saying you're not vegan is because you're lazy. How is that justified? Okay. I thought so. Christian guy, do you want to mic up?
You know, I want to ask you something. Do you know about the one guy named? Just a second.
Can we just speak later, VP? I want to speak to Christian guy now. Christian guy, how are you doing? How do you feel about violence towards animals?
About what?
About violence towards animals.
About violence against animals?
Yeah. Do you think it's okay to be violent towards animals if there's no need for it?
Yeah, it's not prohibited in most of the countries.
Neither is cheating on your partner. But I would say you would think that's wrong, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why is it why is it okay to be violent towards innocent animals then?
Because these are two completely different things.
Yeah, no, you just said that the reason why it's okay to be violent towards somebody is because it's not prohibited in any country. Which I told you, neither is cheating on your partner, yet you don't find that to be okay. So the reason why you find violence towards innocent animals okay cannot be because it's not prohibited, because if that were the case, then you would say that cheating on your partner should also be okay, because it is also not prohibited in any country. So why do you find violence towards innocent animals okay? Is it a difficult question? I guess you can't answer it. Well, that's only normal. When you're the one committing the violence, when you're the one demanding the violence, that you don't have the courage to speak up. That's fine. Astral, do you want to have a conversation?
John Doe's talking shit in chat.
Oh, John Doe, let's
Mic
hear
up.
it. Yeah, mic up, come on. Don't be a warrior in the chat. Come on, have the courage to speak up. Come on, speak up. I don't read the chat, so I will only hear arguments if they're spoken. So go on, John. Yeah, John, I understand you believe in an imaginary God, and your imaginary God who is at the same time compassionate, but also wants to commit violence, which is, yet again, a contradiction. I understand you believe in a contradiction, and you think that believing in a contradiction somehow allows you to commit unnecessary violence towards innocent sentient beings. But I urge you to speak up, John. Come on. Don't be a coward. I guess you are a coward. That's fine. Let's see if anybody wants
He's
to.
incapable of tracking simple questions as well.
Oh, there's already an outreach and debate. There's already some people there. There's
Yeah,
Joe.
it's been going on for a long time, Chip. It's probably been almost over by now.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm not gonna join that. Yeah, I see nobody has the courage to speak up. That's fine. Everyone just thinks they're a warrior when they can hide behind the keyboard. Nobody actually has the courage to say anything about it. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Talk about what?
Animal exploitation. Do you want to have a conversation, Felix?
I haven't spent much time in that field, so I will probably not be as prepared as you are, but go ahead.
That's perfectly fine. Do you think it's okay to exploit innocent animals if we don't need to?
Generally, no.
Okay. Do you think we need to consume animal products?
No, I don't think we have to. We need to.
Okay. So then you find the consumption of animal products wrong then, because it entails exploitation of animals, and we don't need to do it.
I think for me, it's hard to make it a black and white answer.
Well, if you're saying that it is not...
I of course see your point. If I agree with point 1 and point 2, then also I should agree with point 3.
Yeah.
But
It's a syllogism after all, right? It's a valid syllogism.
Could you explain it?
Yeah, it's a valid syllogism. You think exploiting animals when there's no necessity is wrong. Consuming animal products means exploiting animals without any... It means exploiting animals. There is no necessity to consume animal products. Therefore, it should be wrong to consume animal products. It is wrong.
I feel
It's a syllogism. It's
get,
valid.
I get what you're saying. Thank you very much.
But I don't know if you're speaking, by the way, because I can't hear you right now. I don't know if it's just me.
Me neither.
Yeah, so Felix, if you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Oh. This time for real FK till September. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, bro.
So I think you have been in this channel before, right? I remember
Yeah,
you mentioned.
yeah, sometimes I just lurk around here.
So you know what veganism is?
Excuse me?
Oh, do you know what?
Bro, yeah, I do know. Yeah, last time when I joined this VC, you asked the same question.
Oh, so are you vegan?
Man, I don't know. Sometimes I am, sometimes I am not. So yep, that's how it is.
Chip guy? Oh,
Wait, you're saying sometimes
let
you
me just
are
take
vegan?
this for-
what is it?
Yeah, go for it, go for it, go for it.
Yeah, I haven't been here for a while, so let's get unrusty. So, do you know, since you have been here once, twice, do you actually know? Can you remember like what veganism is again? Can you recall? Are you still there?
Silence.
Yeah. Because I do understand where people come from when they say they vacillate between being a vegan and not being a vegan, but this is usually based on a fundamental misconception of what veganism really is. So if you have like a definition at hand, I would appreciate if you can maybe then share some
No,
common ground.
I don't have the exact definition. I
Uh-huh.
am only aware with the term vegetarian and non-vegetarian. So yep, that's pretty much it.
Isn't veganism
Okay.
basically just mean to not consume any animal-made products?
Yeah, that includes
Yeah. So
milk and curd, other things as well.
yeah. So that is like one symptom of being vegan. But veganism, the way I understand veganism is twofold, right? First of all, it is a perspective or an inclination, like where your mind is drawn towards. So the first aspect is basically the desire to not exploit animals, right? So your mind does not want to exploit animals. And then the second condition is actually the action that underlies this desire. Now, I do emphasize the first aspect because the first point actually combats unfortunate situations, such as like when you have like literally no other choice, let's say, right? It might well be understandable that you then consume animals, but your mind finds it very regrettable. Your mind doesn't want to do it, but you do it because it's like your last resort. So it is the desire not to exploit animals. And the second one is then the act behind that desire. Okay.
Yeah,
And when we speak of and when we
absolutely
speak
right,
of
bro.
exploitation, yeah, and when we speak of exploitation, we not merely focus on the consumption, like what you put on your mouth, but any sort of consumption, even if it is for entertainment, for instance, or for clothing, right? Because we make use, we make impermissible use of their services, of their body, and we are rejecting this kind of idea. So, and having this definition in mind, right, that we want to oppose animal exploitation, could you then perhaps see the flaw in you telling us that sometimes you are and sometimes you are not vegan?
Bro, wait. So where I'm from, it's like hard to be a complete vegan. Consuming milk is so so common. Like it's literally you drink like 2 to 3 times milk.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But
I
Yeah.
mean,
So
I think it is.
consuming milk is okay, I think.
yeah, that's what I think as well. I mean, milk is fine, bro.
Not for the animals, no.
Yes, milk is fine.
Not for the animals, no.
No, actually, the country I live in, they provide comfortable places to
Oh
leave
yeah.
cows in. That's called Gaushala. Actually,
Yeah, I'm sure, I'm sure. Why does a
Yeah,
cow
for
produce
sure.
milk again?
sorry.
Why does a cow produce milk?
Yeah, milk is very common in our country.
Why does a
Yep.
cow produce milk?
I I'm unable to understand it. What are you saying, bro?
Why does a cow produce milk?
Oh yeah, she produces for her child. I mean, if you're talking about nature,
Great. So a cow produces milk for their child. Do you think they get pregnant when they want to, or do you think farmers impregnate them?
I mean, bro. I mean, if you are like blaming me for all the other things, that's not fair, bro. I just
Very, very, very interesting. Do you think a farmer impregnates them, or do you think that they get pregnant when they want to?
I mean, yeah, farmer impregnate them, I guess.
Okay. Do you think farmer gets money from you to impregnate them?
I mean, bro, even suppose if I don't buy milk, it will not make any huge difference,
Does the
They're
farmer get
already
money
like,
from you to impregnate them?
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
There you go. So you are responsible for the forceful impregnation of a cow. Then the babies are taken away from them. Do you know why they take away the baby from the mothers?
No, I mean, I suppose I don't know.
Because if the baby stays with the mother, they drink the milk. So if they want to get as much milk as they can, they got to take away the baby. Yeah. Do you think so? So
Yeah.
you're paying also for taking a baby away from their mothers. If the baby is born male, what do you think happens to them? They don't produce milk.
Bro, I mean,
If
bro,
baby drinks more milk, this is not healthy for him.
Yeah, sure, Vito. I'm sure that the cow's milk is not safe. It's not healthy for the baby cow. Can you provide any evidence for that claim?
It is healthy, but more it's
Vito,
not
can you
healthy.
provide that evidence for that claim? Okay. When you can provide evidence for that empirical claim, I'll listen to it. Okay, thank you. Okay.
It's saying that we are talking about is killing for tradition justified or not.
No, well, it's the event is called "Is Killing for Tradition Justified?" Yes, dairy production is very much a tradition, and there is a lot of killing of animals in the production of dairy milk. So, is it justified? According to you, it is, right?
No. Bro, that's not what I said, bro.
Well, you pay for it to happen, so you can't say that it's not justified. Otherwise, you would be paying for something that you find unjustified, right? Why would you pay for something that you yourself find unjustified?
I don't have answer for that, bro, to be honest.
Don't you have control over your own I don't know, actions, over your own body?
Actually, my parents buy the milk and they make the tea and other things. I just consume them. I can't tell them that don't. Indian parents are like very controlative. I mean,
When do your parents buy milk?
they buy every morning.
Okay. How much milk do they buy?
I mean, around 1 liter, I guess.
Yeah, so let's say that one day nobody consumes milk. Are your parents going to buy another liter of milk next day?
Are you talking about no one in the whole world?
No one in your household consumes the milk. Are your parents going to buy milk the next day?
I mean, no, but they.
No, okay.
Actually, if
So that
I don't
means if you don't consume milk, then they'll have half of the milk remaining for the next day, so they'll need to buy less milk.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So you
Why do you
yourself are
think we
still
don't have to
responsible for
eat
the.
non-veg?
So you yourself are still responsible for the exploitation of innocent cows.
Hello. Why do you think we don't have to eat non-veg?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the exploitation of innocent animals. You have to start
Appreciate
thinking
that.
with your brain, not your stomach.
So, can I maybe just chip in? Sorry for the pun. Oh my gosh.
That's a good
Uh,
point. Go for it.
So there are like, yeah. So there are like two issues, and I do appreciate that. Like you focus on the outcome, and you mentioned like two aspects, right? Whether it makes a difference overall to stop consuming animals, and whether it would change in your family dynamic, right? And to both points, I would say yes, it does make a difference, right? Because the cumulative effect, right, like the compounding effect over the days, weeks, and months, and even years, is, I would say, significant. If you stop demanding more animal products, both from your parents and by being vegan overall. Now, but even if we ignore all of that, you have to ask yourself this one fundamental question, right? If you oppose exploiting animals and harming them, if you oppose that, then it doesn't matter whether your action actually have a perceivable impact or not.
No one is
Because
harming,
you will
bro.
be. Wait. Yeah, of course you are. Of course. I mean, you also conceded to that point. You are paying farmers to impregnate cows. You are interfering. You are supporting a system that interferes with the bonding of two mammals, namely the baby and the mother. The reason why the cow exists is because of our desire. Have you ever thought about this?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. And what we call, like, we vegans, we call this a sense of like domination, human domination or dominion. Now, I don't think that that is a good thing to do, especially in the presence of other options, right? We have full control over these animals, not just cows, pigs, chickens, goose, turkeys, all these animals. And we're interfering with their, species appropriate behaviors, like bonding, like roaming around, being happy. And I don't think this is good. Now, it is also not good to just see them as an object. Even if they don't suffer, I don't think this is good. Do you think that you should be involved in exploiting animals, or do you think you should rather not? Do you want to have personal victims? Do you want to create more personal victims with your money?
What do you think about eating chickens and goats and meat?
Yeah, before we go there, I would just like to have like an answer, right? Would you feel comfortable with having, let's say, one personal victim?
Mhm.
Would you feel comfortable with that?
Yeah, we are not comfortable, but
Right.
to enjoy, na.
So, sorry, what? To enjoy?
We have to enjoy our meal and
Right.
etc.
Yeah. And veganism is not opposed to enjoyment. I'm not sure like why people bring this up. I mean, veganism is not like a rejection of enjoyment. Veganism is the rejection of enjoyment in the context where we have to exploit animals. Again, as a vegan, you can still enjoy your food. It's not that you're either eating animals and you're happy, or you're a vegan, you're miserable. That's not how it works.
Yeah, but I am very addicted to chicken and etc.
Right. Now, I do think people enjoy the animal products that they consume habitually, but I think they're not addicted. Now, it is really pleasant, but with support and help, I think that you too can stop exploiting animals.
But I think we have got only one life, so we have to enjoy.
Right. Now, let me ask you this, right? That could be true that we have like certainly one life, but you don't apply this kind of logic to other areas in your life, right? Where you harm others. Would you hurt like people and just kill them, or even hurt them severely and say, oh, you know what? I just have like one life. It doesn't matter.
No.
Would you exploit and deceive? Like, would you exploit and deceive, let's say, your partner or like your family members to get some benefit, and then respond to me and say, "Oh, you know what, Val? We just have one life." Does that make sense?
No, bro.
And,
Not make sense.
and by the way, unfortunately, I have like very bad messages, right? Because the animals only have one life as well.
Yes. You are right, brother. But we are used to in this. Our society is very used to in.
What is this? What is
Yeah,
this?
I understand.
Don't you control your actions? You're used to it. It sounds like you're. It sounds like you're like somebody's forcing you to eat these animal products. You're like, can you at least say, is it right or is it wrong to consume these animal products? Before we go into what you should do about it, can you at least admit, is it right or is it wrong to consume animal products?
In logical perfect perception, this is not right.
So it's wrong.
But our society is surrounding by this.
So it's wrong. You know that it's wrong,
Yeah,
but you're
it's
saying you
wrong,
can't
it's wrong.
stop doing it
Yes.
because when
Isn't
you go.
this like a debate thing?
Like in
Why
our
are you
country,
like
our
forcing
parents
without
are
something?
forcing us.
I suggest you be quiet before I mute you.
Yeah, so let's finish this conversation and then we can have a conversation with you, Val, continue, please. Sorry.
Yeah. So
In
what
our
was the last
country,
point?
our parents forcing us to use milk products because it's protein and etc.
So when you say force, like they're literally shoving it down your throat.
No, 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 not at all. But yeah,
Yeah. So would they disavow? Would they like disown you if you stop consuming animal products?
not as much, but they are saying us again and again eat, drink animal products, milk and etc. Otherwise, you will be get weak.
Oh yeah.
Right. So they're just making certain claims, right? And we don't even know if their claims are true or not. Now, hint, we obviously don't believe that, but that's all they're basically doing. They're just making you maybe insecure. I don't know. But they're certainly not like putting any force on you. They're not kicking you out. They're not killing you. They're not forcing you the food down your throat. So I'm not sure. Like the only pressure I see is that they are making you insecure about your health.
Yes.
But your parent, among many other people, they also happen to be born in a tradition like mine as well, that think, yeah, you have to eat certain foods to be healthy. But they're not experts. They don't have any experience with veganism. And although they do want to like the best of you, sometimes they don't know any better, right? And that's why we're here to tell you the good message that you don't need any kind of animal product.
Yeah, bro, you are
And this
right.
is why we consider this needless exploitation, because we don't need animal products. We just do it because we like it, because of tradition, because of ignorance.
Yeah, yeah.
So we harm, exploit, and kill these animals for needless reasons, not because we need it, but because we want it. And that is
Yes,
very,
yes,
very
yes.
bad.
You're right, bro.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, this is very, very, very bad,
Yes, yes.
right? And I absolutely agree. Every culture is imbued with these kind of practices, all cultures. Maybe some more, maybe some less. But
Yes.
all of
Yes.
us,
There
or
is a
like the
tradition,
majority
you
of this,
know.
yeah. But I think um, a lot of the people, like at least the majority of the people of this room, probably have stepped out of this. So it is possible,
Yeah,
especially if you
it is possible
hold this.
if we step and stand it for it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
If we take a stand, it will be happen.
Yeah, exactly. And the question then becomes, do you want to be a sort of person that exploits animals needlessly? Not what your neighbor does or your parents do, but what you do. Do you want to be involved in animal exploitation? Do you want to be the person
No.
who adds one more one more fuel to the fire? Do you want to be the sort of person who adds a bit more fuel to the fire? This is the question you have to ask. We can't force you, by the way. This is a question you have to
No, bro.
answer for yourself. And if the answer is no, you don't want to,
Yes, bro, you're
then we're
right.
here. Yeah. Okay. And then we can give you some guidance how to do it.
Yeah, answer is
Right?
no.
Is he just cutting out for me?
No, he's cutting out also for me.
Yeah, yeah, right. I'm here, bro. I'm here.
I guess I guess let's move on, because Vito's
Are you
connection is
here,
quite
bro?
bad. Your connection is pretty bad.
So I would perhaps
No, I
suggest
think
you two things, right?
yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So Vito, I just suggest you like two things because your connection seems to be very bad.
yeah.
But first of all, may I ask you like from which country you're from?
Yeah, I'm hearing, bro. I'm hearing. I'm
Yeah,
from
from
India,
which
bro.
country are you from? All right. So you see,
I'm
there
from
is
India, bro.
we have like another vegan Indian activist. He's called like non-vegan equal animal abuser. Maybe you two should reach out, and he can give you excellent advice how to be a vegan in India.
I mean,
Okay, that would be like the first. Yeah.
yeah, it's really easy to go vegan in India, but the point is if someone is willing to stop exploiting animals, if they're willing to, then yeah, then there's no problem. Like yeah, it's absolutely easy. Like,
Right.
I would say.
It's all about decision and mindset, bro.
Yeah, if you're willing to, and if you understand that you should not be a part of animal exploitations, then yeah, then it'll be easier for you. Very easy, like yeah. If you're yeah, it's really easy. Trust me. So I mean, you're willing to go vegan. I mean, you're willing to stop exploiting animals.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, that's awesome. Like I can't figure out the lots of people. Like, what's your name? Uh, so Vito. Well, sorry, I can't figure
Yes,
out
yes.
who am I talking to.
Can you yes,
Oh,
can you repeat?
yeah, I'm talking to Sydney, right?
No, I'm V2.
Oh, sorry. Awesome. Yeah, I'll send you friend request and I'll tell you how exactly we can go vegan easily.
Okay.
Bro. Thanks for your concern.
Okay, let's. You wanted to have a conversation, right?
No, I was just to tell y'all to let him talk because it seemed unfair, you know.
Sure. Do you think it's okay to exploit innocent animals for optional products?
You know, yesterday I watched the 3-minute video and I felt disgusted. But at the same time, the way you guys are just like, you know, bashing your opinions and like
Which
not
opinion?
allowing people to like question, I didn't like it. So that's why
Which opinion has been bashed so far? Can you explain one opinion that has been said so far?
No, I didn't talk.
No, but you said we're
guys
bashing
were
our
talking to
opinions.
the
Which
other guy.
opinions have we been bashing?
You guys were like, you two were like talking over him.
We were trying to interrupt him so that he doesn't waste his time saying something that we've already heard and something that he already said or something that is repetitive so that we can have a productive conversation. But enough meta,
But at
because
the
I'm not
same
interested
time,
in
you
that.
guys were not open to questions.
Sure,
I'm
but
not
this
like animal
Do you have a
abuser or
question, Em?
anything. It's just that I want to go. If I want to go vegan, why should I? And like there are questions. You know,
Because if
we've
you're
been,
not, you're an
like,
animal
doing this
abuser.
for years, thousands of years, and like you should be open to questions if you're debating though.
Sure. Do you have any questions?
Not saying like veganism is better. Everyone should go veganism. You should
Sure.
be open to questions.
Do you have any questions?
I just wanted to say that you should be open to questions.
So you just wanted to complain about how we do our activism. That's perfectly fine. You can complain, but this isn't the channel to complain
This
about how we do
debate wasn't
activism.
going anywhere. It
If
was
you wanna,
like,
if
you
you wanna
should go
complain about how we
vegan,
do
you're a
activism or
fucking
how we do debate,
animal
you can go.
abuser.
I'm sorry, you just said about not interrupting. You starting to interrupt me. I thought the whole point was of you coming up and saying something
No,
was
you're
that you
just
shouldn't be
trying to
interrupting.
win, bro. There should be conclusion to this thing. You're just trying to say
So,
go
Em.
vegan, go vegan.
No,
Do
no,
you
no.
know
I'm
how
just
many
trying to say,
people that went
You're
stops
going to
being
have to.
vegan
You're going to
because
have
of,
to let
like,
me. I'm not going to let you do this. Okay? This gish galloping doesn't work. Okay? You've already made several points. I'm going to have to address every single point that you're making one at a time. Okay? So yes, if you are not vegan, then you are supporting animal abuse. Do you agree to that?
No.
You don't agree to that. Okay?
'Cause,
What do
you
you
know-
take abuse to mean?
Okay, we've been eating animals for years, and it's the
Stop,
way
Em,
of
just
nature,
stop.
right?
stop.
What do you
So
take
you're being
abuse to
asked
mean?
Why
a
do you
direct
stop?
question
Like,
and you're not answering any questions. Just please.
It's a cycle
You're-
of life. We eat animals.
Holy shit.
no.
I've just asked you a direct
like,
question.
wait.
The mass
What
killing
thing?
of animals, abusing them is not okay. Okay.
What does
The way-
abuse mean,
the
M?
reason I'm
M,
saying,
M,
like,
what does abuse
eating
mean?
animals is way of
No,
life.
M, what does abuse mean? You say abusing animals is not okay. I want to understand what abuse
Slaughtering
means
them.
so that I want to understand what is not okay.
Mass killing them.
So slaughtering them, mass
Bro,
killing
I'm
them is not
against
okay.
veganism. What the
Okay,
hell?
so if it's not okay to slaughter animals, why do you choose to pay for animals to be slaughtered for you?
Bro, we've been. Okay. English not my first language, so I don't know what to say, but
Did you
we've
understand the
been
question?
killing animals. What question?
The question that I asked you, if you're saying that abusing animals means slaughtering them, and you're saying abusing is not okay, why do you choose to pay for animals to be abused? Also known as slaughter.
You know, we've been eating animals. It's the way of freaking life. Do you know how many vegans go not vegan because of nutrition?
Is that why you pay for it? Is that why you pay for animals to be abused? Because we've been doing it for a long time?
No. Like,
Okay, so
as
why
you
do you choose to
as
pay
you
for
said
animal
earlier-
products
as you
knowing that
said
it is
earlier,
abusive?
Slaughterhouse, the way they kill the animals, it's the animal abuse, right?
Oh,
Just
it's the way they
letting
kill them,
them-
not the fact that they kill them. So it's not the fact that they kill them, it's how they kill them. That's what you're saying,
No,
correct?
growing them and like actually like using them as meat. But
Okay.
we've been hunting.
So why do you pay for
years,
that?
Like, it's the fucking way of life. What's
Why
wrong
do you
with
pay for that? Can you make different choices? Why do you pay for animals to be abused? You can always choose something else, right? So
No,
why do
we
you
eat
yourself?
meat.
Why
We
do
eat
you?
meat. It's freaking normal, bitch.
So M, before you, I understand you're crashing
Just
out
to
right
calm
now.
Every
down,
animal,
I'm
every,
warning
like,
you,
carnivore,
last warning.
every-
I'm warning you, this is your last warning. I suggest you calm down.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
instead of crashing out, maybe try thinking
Fucking
for a
kick
second.
me out. I don't
because-
fucking care.
Bye.
Bye.
Why are they always crashing out on this? Like she literally understood that it's abuse. She called it abuse, and then when I ask her if she's abusing animal, why is she paying for animal abuse? She's always done it. What?
Yeah, this is like cognitive dissonance.
Intelligence, all the rational conversation.
Yeah,
It's just dissonance.
she
I mean, obviously,
she
there's this-
feels bad
yeah.
because she understands she's doing something wrong. She feels bad about it, so it must be someone else that is inflicting that on her, not the fact that she's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So-
not
Yeah,
never-
she's distancing. Like he said it multiple times, right? She said like this is the way of life, right? I mean, obviously it's not, but
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the way of death, not life.
Let's move on to the next person then. Let's see. Who else thinks it's okay to abuse animals? Raul, do you think it's okay to abuse animals? Birdman, do you think it's okay to abuse animals?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. It hurt. It hurt my mind.
To abuse animals?
Yes, abusing animals. I've heard a lot of news that abusing animals happens everywhere. So it hurts me.
Are you vegan?
I'm not vegan, but I'm curious. In
So-
this conversation.
So, do you think that if you're not vegan, you're demanding the abuse of animals?
Demanding.
Yeah. That means you are creating more abuse.
Yeah. So, sorry. I can't say. I just curious this conversation, so I don't have any idea. Sorry.
But do you acknowledge that when you buy an animal product, an animal is abused for that product?
I usually buy animal products, so yeah.
Yeah, the problem is when Birdman, when we think this way, when we say, well, I do this, therefore it should be okay, then nothing can ever be questioned whether it's okay or not, right? Like, for example, a rapist, it sounds like an extreme example, but bear with me, but a rapist who engages in rape could say, well, I do this, therefore it's okay, right? When we start on the premise that we do it, therefore it's okay, we can justify everything. But the question that we're trying to ask right now, is it really justifiable to abuse animals? And you said no. So now it seems like there's a disconnect between the consumption of animal products and the abuse of animals in your head, right? Like, do you acknowledge that for the production of an animal product, there is abuse towards animals?
I said no, but so I usually eat protein, so I had to say yes.
So you have to say yes because you eat
because
protein?
I eat yes, I eat usual yes, I eat protein. Yeah.
So let's go down by this logic, okay? So animals are abused in the production of animal products because I eat protein. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, the fact that you eat protein has nothing to do with animals being abused for animal products. Animals are abused to produce animal products. You consuming protein has nothing to do. And do you think you can get protein without abusing animals, without buying animal products?
Yeah, I have the other options like soybean. I eat soybean. Soybean have a lot of protein, so I can chance to yes, I can change it.
Yeah. Do you understand that every time you buy an animal product, you create demand for an animal to be abused?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, so then if you think you can get your protein from other sources, then why would you choose to buy another animal product ever?
I see. Why?
Hello, everyone. Sorry.
Hello?
I just wanted to talk kind of like this someone was talking, so I'm sorry. Just let you finish and then.
Okay. So Birdman, if you can choose to not abuse animals, to not pay for animal abuse, then is there any good reason for you to continue choosing to buy animal products and thus demand animal abuse?
No reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think you should do then?
Sorry, it's a little bit difficult for me to answer it. So can you change the person who answers your question?
Sure, we can speak to somebody else. You can listen.
Okay. Sorry, I'm listening.
Yeah, no worries.
Hello, Chip guy. How you doing?
Wait,
I'm
Vic.
gonna go back on mute till it's my turn. I just wanted to introduce myself.
Sure, no worries. Caitlin, I think you were the ones who had some questions.
Yes.
Do you have so do you have a question?
I don't have a question, but like just want to say something about the topic because suddenly like yesterday was I just became like vegan.
Hell yeah.
And you know since I was a child we had a farm and we had a lot of animals, you know. So and then our dog was like the most animal that stays for long, you know, than other animals because other animals would be killed or been sold to some other people or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I had friendship with all of the animals that we have in that farm, you know. I was creating stories, imagining things and whatever, you know. I was always asking Dad, why are you like selling others and not selling your dog? He said like, the dog is our friend. And I said, no, not only the dog is our friend, is the one that help us. A lot of animals are offering that, that love, that help and everything, I was always, as a kid, having that debate with my dad, even though I didn't really know what was a veganism as a topic is. I didn't know the term, but from my perspective as a kid, I knew that it's not like fair to kill animals that have something to eat or whatever, because for me, animals are like like human, they just share love, and you can feel the love from them, and you can see that even if they see other animal is being killed in front of them, they start shaking, they start reacting. So the archives of things around them, they understand things. So for me, I don't treat animals like most of people do. That's why since I was a child, I was always seeing the word differently from this perspective about animals and everything. But I didn't really have the chance to discover the community of veganism or vegan people and talk to them and whatever, So I was always avoiding eating meat because the meat that was presented in our meals was from the animals that we are raising, So I was always seeing eating meat is eating my friends, So I was always just, having that paradox, about eating meat. One time I was really having a small sheep that was growing with me, and that was really my special one. And I gave him a name and everything. And suddenly one day, like just I looked for it, but I didn't find it. And my dad just said he became sick and everything. He just saying things about him. And then he said like we killed him because we will make profits from we won't let it die, And I said, will you do that the same for I said the dog name, our dog. Will you do the same if he got sick? Will you kill it, or just take it to the hospital and try to find a way of healing it, He said no, I will not do the same thing. So, even my parents couldn't answer a lot of questions about my way of thinking. As a child, I speak, not an adult, So when I grew up in high school, I discovered vegetarian term and vegan term, but that time wasn't my time to become a vegan, because I needed a lot of research and a lot of things to understand the really need of being vegan, not only seeing things. Because the idea I already had it, but just the way of make it into the real life was something to me, And yesterday I just joined one of the servers about vegan people, and I met a lot of people that shared some real experiences like equal to mine. And I convinced myself even more about it, and I discovered a lot of things about the life of animals, what they have lived, and what they've been through, the history and everything. Also, I'm a chemistry major student, so I know a lot about laboratories, resources, and what they are doing to animals to just, like, to make products from, Yeah. So that's my experience with it. And suddenly, I just joined the server and I saw like they're talking about veganism, and I said, "Oh, really? I just became yesterday a vegan." How's that possible? So that's it. I'm sorry if I spoke a lot, but that's
No, that's
it.
okay. So on this server particularly, we debate non-vegans. We have conversations with non-vegans, not necessarily debate them, and we try to explain to them why veganism is important, why we shouldn't exploit innocent animals. But stick around and keep coming back, because if you repeatedly come back, you'll get a vegan role, and then we have a channel that's where there's only us vegans there.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on. Vic, you wanted to say something? Vic Damone.
Hey, hello. How you doing, Chip? Man, listen, I'm a big fan. I'm out here in America. Okay. I'll be watching you from the clouds. All right, and you got me addicted. That's all I can say. When you go live, okay, I don't know what it is, man. I just can't turn away.
That's
I
good,
need
I
y'all to
guess.
share this video. I need y'all to like it. We need Chip Guy's message to be on 7 continents. Okay, whether you agree with him or not. You want to debate him, come debate him. Okay.
Love it.
This is where it's at. But you know, like it's been a while, right? I think I called in maybe months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still. Hey man, I'm still eating that meat. Don't beat me up, man. Don't beat me up.
Why do you still do that? As far as I understand, you already know the arguments
Okay.
against that.
Well, I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at. So, you know, I want to be honest, man. Look, I'm an animal lover, y'all. I don't believe in exploitation of animals whatsoever. No, I don't believe in the abuse. I think the abuse of animals is horrible. Okay, is literally terrible, right? And look, I can prove to y'all in this Discord that I'm an animal lover because I got cats around my house, right? Stray cats that I feed. And every morning, you know, they see me, they're in front of my car. I got dogs in my house, right? And the dogs and the cats somehow coexist. But me, the cats, and the dogs, we all eat meat together.
Yeah, but like
I don't
Vic,
see that as me personally exploitation. Like if the animals are eating meat and I'm eating meat, right? How are we exploiting? Like we're pretty much sharing at that point.
So Vic, do you go around and kill birds? You know, like you see a bird in the tree, do you go and kill them? They're
No,
just
but I
twerping,
will
minding
eat
their own
one if a
business.
shit cook it.
Well, no, that's not where
I
I'm
will
going
eat it if a
with.
shit cook it.
Because, well, your cat does kill birds in a tree. If your cat sees a bird, they will, no, not to eat them, they will kill them also for exercise and for fun. Are you in favor of killing animals for exercise?
Well, no, absolutely, but I don't believe that, Chip.
So whether
personally. I
your
don't
cat,
believe
so whether your cat does it or
kill for
not,
fun.
whether your cat does it or not,
Yeah, I
it
don't
doesn't
believe
really
that
matter.
personally.
You don't believe that a cat kills
Yeah,
for
yeah.
fun?
Well, no, I mean, cats are instinctive. Everything they do is off of instinct. Their
Okay.
eyesight is faster than a moving snake.
So then this
So
argument,
to think that
I'm sorry,
like
but
they
this,
don't know they don't know the definition of the word fun. That's a human word.
sure.
That's something we design. We
No,
have
no,
fun.
no, no.
We enjoy
Everyone
things.
has fun. No, every sentient being has fun. It's part of the sentient loop, if you want to call it that way. Fun has to be part of it. Every single animal plays. That's not just humans. Every single sentient animal plays. And yes, cats do too, and they kill animals. But the argument that let me finish. The argument that you eat animals, your dog eats animals, and your cat eats animals means nothing, because your dog and your cat kill animals for fun, whereas you don't do that. So, I'm sorry, but whether they choose to consume animal products or not has nothing to do with your choice to consume animal products.
Well, would you feel that? Remember the video you made? Because I remember you were like at an event, right? And there was a cow, and there was like a barrier around the cow,
Yeah.
right? And everybody was sitting there, and everybody was enjoying that cow. Now I'm from America, man. We don't treat our cows that way.
Well, that cow was forcefully
And I think that's just a
inseminated.
culture thing.
No, because that cow was forcefully inseminated. They were just sitting there on the field. But don't be afraid. You only see, like, don't be so confident in the fact that that cow had a good life. They only have a good life when you see them. In fact, everything that happens to animals is not happening in front of everyone, because if it did, then a lot of people wouldn't buy it. In fact, the reason why they make so-called animal gag laws, including the United States, which means that if you even film the abuse of animals, you will go to prison. The reason why they make that is because they know it's highly detrimental to animal agriculture. The reason why they did that in the last couple of years, more than any other time in our history, is because in the last couple of years, due to social media, people are waking up to the injustice that we do to animals. But either way, Vic, you yourself have alternatives. You yourself cannot call yourself an animal lover if you choose to cut the throats of animals. Because if I call myself a woman lover, and I justify it by saying, well, I love my wife, and I love my sister, and I love my mother, but any other woman, if they are born in a certain way, I'm okay with them being killed. Not even that I'm okay with it, but I demand that they get killed for me. Then I can't possibly call myself a women's lover, can I? So how can you call yourself an animal lover if you pay for most of the animals that you interact with are through your demand of violence towards them?
See, well, this is why I come to be educated by you. You see, because you have knowledge that I don't have. Right? I'm 48, but I'm still, willing to learn. So here's my question, right? How do I gain weight simply by eating plants? Like what plant?
You just
I'm
have
like
to be
170 pounds.
You just have to be in
I'm
a caloric
170
surplus.
pounds.
You just have to be in a caloric surplus to gain weight. It doesn't matter where the calories are coming from. So you just have to eat more.
But but that's what I mean, right? I've been eating things my entire life. My metabolism is high, right? I can't break past 170. So that's why I consume meat. I don't consume it for the basis of, trying to be exploitation. I mean, we all have one life to live, right?
So do the animals.
Some people gain weight easily. Some of us want to try to hit those numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's our only alternative. We don't know anything else.
Okay,
Nothing's
well,
been presented.
Well, if that's your concern,
Sorry, I want to say something.
yeah, go for it.
It's
Go for it.
really egoistic to think this way because it's just like you told me. I don't care about animals, but I care about my weight. Like for real, is that an argument to say right now about like you just heard what he just explained to you, what the animals have been through, and you just say simply, how can I get more weight? Like, don't you see the
Okay,
difference
well, I
between
can
the two
explain what I
opinions?
mean by that. Let me go. Let me be. A little bit more in depth. Okay. My entire life I was skinny. As a child, I couldn't play football. All of the guys could easily beat me up because they were bigger than me.
Yeah, but you're no
So
longer in that
at that time,
position, is it?
I knew nothing about the animals outside of the people that were around me, the humans that were around me.
And you were
So at
still
that
eating
moment,
meat and you couldn't put weight on.
I wanted
Exactly.
to get
That's
bigger.
what. Yeah. I wanted to say that. I wanted to exactly just say that. So even in spite the So even though you had animal product, so even though you had animals in your diet, you still struggled with weight. So that actually explains that it is not animals. Yes. So that explains that factor that is important for weight. Like the thing that determines where your weight will lead up to has nothing to do with animals, but it has to do about energy balance. Right? It's basically like having a budget. And the thing is, though, like with a budget, humans are incredibly habitual beings, right? So, and it can be quite difficult to change habits. So, if you, let's say, eat more for a few days, again, notice the word balance. You don't draw a balance after 2 or 3 days. You draw a balance, like with money, over cumulative days and weeks. And then if the balance is positive, well, you get richer or you get more fat. Well, if the balance is negative, you either will lose weight in the context of losing weight, or you will get poorer. But you don't draw a balance after a few days. And for humans, unfortunately, for humans, not just for psychological reasons, but also because of biological reasons, it's very difficult to change habits in the long run. But it is
Yeah,
exactly
my
this
sister's a
long
vegan.
run.
So yeah,
Wait,
my
one sec.
sister's a
Y-
vegan.
Yeah, wait, one sec. I'm not done yet. So, but
Sorry.
it
Go
is
ahead.
unfortunately it is unfortunately this long run that determines where your body will go. This is the issue. Building habits, it's difficult, and it is this very habit that will determine where your body will go. That is the issue, right? But you can absolutely gain, lose, or maintain your weight while being vegan, because vegans, surprise, surprise, consume energy in plants, not just vegetables, not just fruits, but a myriad of plants. This is how every diet, and by the way, veganism is not a diet, but this is how every diet works, by creating a sustainable deficit, energy deficit. This is how it works. Now, having said that, is it only this kind of issue that holds you back from being a vegan?
Well, I don't know if you heard me earlier. My sister's a vegan. She's like 50. She's 7 years older than me. She's a vegan. She's very happy. She's energetic, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I see the benefits like in real time, right?
Well, no,
But
hold
the
on.
the
Wait,
the,
let's
the issue
yeah,
for me,
yeah,
oh,
let's yeah,
Val,
let's be
let
just
him
careful
finish.
because the problem is
Let him finish what the issue is.
yeah,
Let's
okay.
hear him out.
well,
Okay.
like I said, the issue for me is right is what I said earlier. Like the most weight I ever gained in my life, I think I was
Mhm.
probably at 190, and that was from drinking milk, like vitamin D milk, right? I'm 48.
Yeah.
I can't drink that anymore. I can't, like, I physically just can't drink milk like that no more. So, your body just after a while, changes, right? So you're right. You said something about milk earlier, Chip. For those that don't believe it, just wait. Time will stop you from drinking milk. Okay, you'll stop eventually. Okay, so you're
Yeah,
right
but
about that.
listen, like, so we can address two things here, Vic. There's why you should go vegan and how you should go vegan. There are two separate concerns. We're trying to
Right.
mostly address why we should go vegan. It seems like you have a problem with how you should go vegan. But let's first address why you should go vegan. Do you understand why you should be vegan? Like the exploitation of non-human animals? You calling yourself an animal lover
Well,
and
yeah,
all that?
like that at all. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, the exploitation, or like you said before, I'm not for animal abuse, but maybe I've been programmed wrong, Chip Guy.
Yeah, I
You
get that.
understand?
I get
Maybe
that, but
my
you...
programming is off.
But can you understand that when you buy an animal product, whether you need to or not, we'll address it. But when you buy an animal product, you are paying for exploitation and abuse towards an animal?
That's the part I gotta, work on, right? Because I think my programming is messed up just a little bit. I understand what you're saying. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
Right.
before we
But
work on it,
there's upbringing. There's a lot to that dealing with individuals.
but Vic, before we deal with it, do you understand that do you take this to be true? That when you buy an animal product, you are demanding the exploitation of an animal? Is it true?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just trying to, really think this through, because when I go and buy, when I go to these stores in America, like some of this meat is cloned, it's not even real meat.
So Vic, let me ask you this
it's
way.
so iffy.
So
It's
let me ask
iffy
you.
in America, man. It is.
So let me ask you this way: if you see somebody in a store, all of a sudden they put dog meat on the shelves, right? And you're not the one buying it, but you see someone buying that dog meat. Do you think that this person is therefore creating a demand for farming dogs for meat?
No, no, yeah, that's yeah, that's kind
Yeah.
of crazy. I
Yeah,
never
so-
thought about it like that till you just said it.
Yeah, so if this person then buys cow meat, aren't they also creating the demand for cows to be farmed?
Yeah, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
So that's the
It's
crux of it.
It's a demand. I mean, the demand here in America, man, you're talking about going all the way back to the freaking 1700s, man. You're going back centuries.
I mean, yeah, the fact
Demand?
it has been happening for a long time. I can understand that. We just happen to live. We're just you and I, Vic, are lucky to be living in a time where there's not just choice, but an abundance of choice, and the choice is also easy to make. As in, you don't have to drive to a different supermarket. For example, if you go to Costco, there's vegan alternatives in Costco. A lot of them. If you go to Walmart, there's vegan alternatives in Walmart. So there's no like the choice to change. Only the difficult part is only making the switch in your head to change, because the actions themselves, they don't involve more effort. And even if they did, it would be for a little bit until you learn how to do it, for a week, 2, a month, and then life is back to normal for you. You just no longer buy these products that demand the exploitation of animals, and you buy something else.
I feel like you'd have more money in your pocket. You're actually saving people money, because if you're not
Yeah.
spending money on meat, you know, and you were just spending money on plant life, you wouldn't be buying like meat and plants.
100%, yeah. It's up to 30% cheaper in US. I don't know nowadays because the study was done a while ago. But nowadays, meat is very expensive in US, as far as I understand. So, yeah.
They're just selling us fake meat. That's all. They just faked it. Okay, Amazon rules America. Okay, just remember I told y'all that. Okay, all the meat products are sold by Amazon. Okay.
Either way, like even if there's, let's say, 90% of it is soy or whatever, and 10% of it is animal product, for that 10% they still have to kill or exploit an animal.
Facts.
Yeah, so then you gotta ask yourself, where do you stand on this one, right? Like, are you gonna be the person who continues the demand? Because, you know, I'm not interested in the past. I think you've heard me say this before. I don't care what we did in the past. I used to consume animal products also, right? The whole point of it is what we do going forward with this information. Because that's what reflects on who we are. When we're presented with information and we realize that what we're doing might be going against our values, it's how we handle that going forward that reflects on who we are as individuals. Because if we just ignore it and move on, well then we cannot possibly say we're animal lovers if we ignore an injustice towards animals because it's easier for us, right?
Well, I just think you're just more or less even given the healthier options, you know, just looking at it from the point of you being human and being healthy. All right, because I think we all want to be healthy, right? I think that's the goal.
Yeah, and you can be
right?
healthy without
Because,
consuming
like,
animal products.
well, animal products don't necessarily bring health if you look at the statistics of it, right?
Yeah.
All
also
of
that.
the elders that went to veganism ended up being healthier than the seniors that were eating meat, right? If
Exactly.
you look at it.
Yeah.
So look, I can't deny what some of the stuff you're saying. It's just that I learned some of these lessons the hard way. I'm not gonna lie, I learned some of the lessons the hard way, especially with milk, right? I was like, you know, man, milk like air growing up. And one day my body just shut down completely from drinking milk. Like I didn't know what was happening. And then people say, oh, well, you're lactose intolerant. I said, no, that makes no sense, right? No, the milk just did something to my body. You just couldn't say all of a sudden, I'm allergic to milk, and I was drinking it for like 40 years straight, no problems. You see?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a sign. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can take that however you want, and that's fine. You know, for me, I'm very much interested in the results, and I think it's obviously somebody who would adopt a plant-based diet because they cannot eat animal products is good for the animals. But a lot of the times, people who do it for their health or who do it for climate or whatever other reason, they usually end up coming back to consuming some animal products because the reality is, even if it is healthier to consume plants, for health, you can get away by consuming one animal product every once in a while. It's not going to make a difference to your health. And for the environment, it's not going to make a big difference if you consume it every once in a while. However, for the animals, it makes a huge difference because when you do buy that animal product, and I'm not singling you out, I'm saying whenever somebody buys an animal product, they do demand the exploitation of an animal. And you're violating the rights of an animal in that moment. Buying an animal product means you're paying money for somebody to violate the rights of an animal. And that cannot possibly be, like I cannot possibly call myself even a person who respects animals if I do that because I want to or because I feel like it or something. I don't know.
Well, no, the only thing they did in 2026 was they created the artificial animal.
I mean, there's been plant-based meat
Because
for
the
a while.
animals that are not born naturally, these unnatural born animals that are lab grown, do they have rights?
There's no lab-grown
Not even-
animals as far as I know.
Oh, well, in America, they started cloning like cows and lambs and
I don't think they do
pigs.
that, Vic.
All right, and the clone meat is cheaper than the real meat.
I
This
don't
is
think they do that,
happening
Vic.
right now in America.
I don't think they do that because it would be an expensive process. They only care about money. For them, it's money. It's much cheaper
Actually,
to rape
no.
a cow. It's much cheaper to rape a cow, and then when their baby is born, get meat out of them.
Yeah.
It's also
Hey,
much
Chip
cheaper
Guy,
to.
always remember
Yeah.
that I am in a land ran by Donald Trump. Okay?
That sucks.
And
of course.
it's a lot of weird stuff that
Yeah,
happens
kinda.
over here that's not on the news.
I'm not sure what you're talking about. They might not be cloned, but if they're inbred, perhaps they could be very genetically similar. If they are some inbred breed, I'm not sure what you're referring to, though.
I am referring to stem cell research. That's what I'm referring to. They took the stem cell research and they started making food with it.
Oh, you're talking
Okay.
about lab-grown meat.
And
Well,
like
lab-grown meat.
Okay. Okay.
I haven't heard in America, but eventually you will. It's got to get to y'all sooner or later. Okay? Amazon is selling this meat. Man, look.
I
y'all are
don't
gonna
have a
find
problem
out
on
with
the
sooner or
that.
shelves
later.
yet. It's not on the shelves yet.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah, it ain't made it to y'all shelves. It
No, in
probably
the
won't,
US
On
because
the
only.
y'all-
shelves yet. The only
Y'all
country
stand up.
that
Y'all-
it's available is Singapore.
Oh yeah, we
What
got
you do have
clone
in
meat.
the US is fermented dairy from proteins, which doesn't involve cows. That's on the shelves in the US.
Yeah, like dairy milk without cows.
Well-
There's that.
You got to think about the like I said, the wild stuff that happens over. I mean, I do. Sometimes I look at y'all, man. I be like, man, I need to hop on a plane, okay? Because yeah, it's bad out here. Okay.
But let's
It's
move
bad
on
out
back.
here.
Let's move on back to ethics because
But yo, Chip Guy, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
It was great talking to you. It was great connecting, and yeah, man, I am going to try it. Don't think I'm giving up. All right, or this conversation went in vain because you know if you didn't have my interest, I would have never reached out to you from all the way across the ocean. Okay.
I appreciate you reaching out to me. Have you ever heard of Challenge 22? I think I mentioned it a lot on my channel. Have you ever given that a try? Because you just put your name and your email there, and you know they can help you adopt a whole foods plant-based diet. So that means one where you eat as natural as you want, if that you're concerned with that, and they can also help you be within your budget or whatever other concern you have.
Right. Yeah, like I do have some plants and vegetables and things that I like. So, hey, I'm gonna definitely give that a shot, and I'm gonna definitely check you out. But
Okay.
hey man, I gotta go. It's like what 7:30 in the morning over here. So
Okay.
I will catch up with y'all later.
Have a good one. Cheers. Okay. Yeah, maybe we need to move on to the next person. Who wants to speak next? He was an interesting person indeed. Okay, Nelson, speak up. Why aren't you vegan, Nelson?
Yo,
Are you there?
I'm too selfish to be vegan, honestly.
So you acknowledge that you
I
should
really-
be vegan?
No, morally, I feel like I should be.
Okay.
I admit that, but I don't have the enough. I don't know. I guess I don't care enough.
You
about
don't care
animals
enough
as
about
much as
justice?
I love them. I guess.
Not about
But what
animals,
I was
because
wondering-
I also
I know,
don't care about
I-
animals, by the way. I'm not a person who cares about animals in particular. Well, I started caring about animals after I
Yeah.
went vegan, but I never cared about animals before being vegan. So, if you...
Yeah, and honestly, the environmental impact is what kind of convinces me more even to want to become vegan eventually, maybe.
Yeah, so like adopt a plant-based
but-
diet, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Is there a way to like, I don't know, not go 100% vegan and still try to help the effort, I guess?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's just that when you buy an animal product, you are still demanding the exploitation of an innocent animal. You're still violating that right.
Right. There's nothing I could do to like cover my guilt, I guess.
Well, all you can do is change, man. You can't say I wanna exploit somebody but also not feel guilty about it. The fact that you feel guilty,
You know what? I can say that. Well,
can.
I see what you're saying.
but the
Yeah,
fact that you feel
yeah.
guilty says something, doesn't it? Like the fact that you feel guilty means that
Yeah.
you do have some incentive there. You're just like is it just like a whole connection that you've always done it? Like, do you really find animal products that excellent? Well, what is it?
I have a very limited palate. It's very self-inflicted limited palate when it comes to foods that I like. I barely like any vegetables or fruits.
Yeah, but you add spices to your products, right? To animal products. or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
So why not add spices to something else? You know, like try some. Like, do you live in the U.S.?
Yes.
Yeah, like the what is it? Impossible meat has some really good
Oh, those are
alternatives.
good. I eat those. I eat those sometimes.
Yeah, I think Beyond Meat also has some
Okay.
good, and they also have chickens now, not just beef, and they're all plant-based
Yeah.
and they're pretty freaking good. Why not just choose those?
I don't have a good answer to that. I have a question though. Is avoiding animal products outside of food, does that do any good?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
you know, avoiding like leather or wool or stuff, or is it just at the end of the day pretty much you're not contributing anything because those animals are going to be slaughtered for meat anyway?
No, I would say they're co-products. All of these other animal products are they co-create the demand, if I can say that. So
Right.
yeah, avoiding one obviously does something.
Okay.
But I don't think it's about like when it comes to injustice, we shouldn't be
Yeah.
thinking in a way where you're saying I'm not causing this injustice and ignore the other injustice, right? Like the whole point of injustice is that you don't cause
I accept that
injustice.
intellectually. I accept that intellectually.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't care enough.
I mean, I don't know what to say when
All
you're
right.
apathetic towards an injustice, man.
Just fine with what I'm doing. That's fair enough. All right. Maybe somebody else should talk. Somebody's more willing to change.
Yeah, I know. Caitlin, do you want to say something to Nelson? Because I liked what you said the last time.
I don't know. I mean, because some people just want to ignore some truths, you know, to just, you know, if you're not caring about a thing or a person or an animal or whatever, it doesn't mean that you don't really care. The fact that you're here, it's a good it's a proof that you already care about it all. It just there is a part in your brain that ignores the fact that you see some truth here, you see some fact, you see some real things happening, but you are ignoring it just to justify something that you don't even know what is. Maybe you are
Yeah.
refusing the fact that
I think it's a
So maybe
compartmentalization that a lot of people do, where they see all the abuse animals go through, right? But they don't have to see that every day. So it's not like you're reminded by it.
maybe you
I
are
mean,
maybe you are in just you're not okay with yourself. Maybe you're not
oh yeah,
caring about
definitely no.
yourself
Yeah,
enough. Yeah.
that's a whole personal
Yeah,
problem.
because
Though. I mean, I feel like
yeah,
most people.
because here and saying I don't care in a voice chat channel, or I don't know, in a debate club,
Yeah.
in a topic that you are in, maybe somewhere else, but here, and I don't care, doesn't work.
Yeah. Maybe I could get somebody else to be vegan. Like
Also, by the way, Nilsson, you can't do moral
Yeah.
licensing. You can't offset the unethical action because while
I was hoping that's something that I could do.
no, but you can see
Fuck.
you can maybe justify offsetting some form of impact to the environment if you want, because that's just CO2.
Yeah.
That's just that you
I already
maybe
do that.
yeah, but when it comes to animals, you can't, like, if you kill an animal, you can't offset that killing by doing something else, right? Like imagine if Hitler, after he killed all those Jewish people, let's say he wasn't
He had a Jewish orgy or something.
yeah, he would have just like said, well, I brought another 1 billion Jewish people into the world or something,
Look at
right?
all
Like,
these pregnant Jews.
yeah, like that would have been messed up,
I see
right?
where
Like,
you're coming from.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like those individuals wanted to experience life just as much as you do, and they only have a shot on life, right? You can't really offset that.
Well, I'll
I
try
just
to
want
look
to say you,
more.
like, Nelson, I just want to say you something, because you just said that you don't care, but I mean, yeah, for me, it's either you stayed non-vegan or you became vegan.
Yeah.
Here we're just hearing thoughts, and yeah, if you're convinced, you're convinced, or whatever. But um, for most of people, that's just they're not vegan. I mean, for me, if you are participating in a crime, because eating meat is like participating in consuming something from an animal, so you are in the crime. If
Yeah,
you
you're
don't care being
into that
if you don't care
industry,
being in
and
a crime, it means that you're a criminal, right?
yes. No, you're
You
right.
can't just say that I don't care. It means you either prefer being the crime, or you refuse getting out of the crime. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can just deny it.
Yeah, I don't have enough. Maybe I just don't have enough standards for myself to change.
Yeah,
Maybe that'll change
because
through the years.
really being vegan is not a trend. It's not something that you just I want to be vegan or whatever. It's a moral movement for me. It's
Oh
something
no,
that
for sure.
it's something that you believe, and you try to
Yeah.
convince yourself even more by searching and really knowing what's going on. It's not something that you just choose to do. It's not a way of living, or saying, no, I want to eat blueberries today, tomorrow strawberries or whatever. No, it's something that you understand more and more, and you look for. You convince yourself even more with talking to people like that. Because me too. I mean, since I was a kid till now, I had the idea, but meeting people and talking to people, to vegan people, I just covered a lot of things, a lot of perspectives, and life is perspectives. If you didn't change your clothes, I mean, you will smell bad. Even thoughts
Yeah.
are, you need to fix a lot of things.
Can I
Well, I
can
appreciate all you
I
guys have
answer?
Sure.
Can I answer something you asked in passing before you already had it answered, but I can give another take, right?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. You asked, like, what if you can make someone else go vegan, right? And you can't, whether you or yourself are vegan or not, you can't really make anyone vegan but yourself, because yeah, the vegan, even if you were to force someone a plant-based diet, that wouldn't necessarily make them vegan. Even if you convince them, it's not you, it's like them. They're a conscious agent, right? Everyone makes their own decisions, like what to think in the end. So the only person you could make go vegan, that would be yourself, right?
Fuck,
I had
another loophole.
another,
All right.
yeah.
All right, thanks all. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Yeah, I
That
think
was weird, but I don't know.
I think we're going to be getting a lot more people going forward who agree that veganism is the way going forward, but they just don't have enough motivation. So maybe.
Like, if he truly didn't care, like, why would he feel guilt and like worrying about offsetting his guilt? Like, if I don't care about plants, so I don't worry about offsetting my guilt for eating them, right? Don't feel guilty about that if I don't care about it, right? So yeah, it's a bit. He said it himself, like compartmentalizing.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, let's see. Ivona, Ivona, do you want to have a conversation? I don't know if it's Ivona or Elvona. I guess not. Gamerspace, do you want to have a conversation? Mikhail Kell, do you want to have a conversation? I guess everyone agrees. W, do you want to have a conversation? Yeah. White coat nerd, do you want to have a conversation? No. Okay. Low battery human, do you want to have a conversation? No, we won. That's it. Everyone agrees. If you're not vegan, you abuse animals. That's true.
Yeah, my name.
Yeah, non-vegan equals animal abuse. That's true.
Nobody has any questions? Any objections to not stabbing animals to death?
Apparently everyone agrees that not stabbing animals to death is the right thing to do.
Hell yeah.
The moral burden has been lifted. We can finally celebrate.
Yay!
We can actually move on to other things.
Yeah, we can start speaking about Trump and stuff. Oh God, no.
Stop it. Just no.
No, we're not gonna do that. Okay, well then I'm gonna address some people in my chat because there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool there.
Hello, X.
Okay, let's address some of this chat over here. I see a lot of coping in here. I am not vegan because I like sushi. You can have vegan sushi and it's freaking delicious. Don't insult those who eat and don't insult those who doesn't eat. I don't know what you're talking about. We're not talking about food here. You have to stop thinking with your stomach and start thinking with your brain. We're here to fight against the exploitation of non-human animals. That's dumb AF. I don't know what is dumb AF, but if it's an argument you made, maybe it is. I don't know. No thank you for the discussion on Trump, yeah. Time to talk about UBI. Yeah, we should talk about universal basic income, I could agree. White content, because I'm white. Nah, bro. Doesn't matter what skin color you have, exploitation is wrong regardless of skin color. And you calling this white content? Why? Because we choose to fight for the rights of innocent animals? Yeah. Yeah, it just sounds like a bit of a racist trope, but that's okay. As if people of a different ethnicity cannot be against animal exploitation. Imagine thinking that. That's pretty racist. All vegans are self-absorbed dickheads. Yeah, vegans are the self-absorbed ones because vegans are saying don't exploit innocent animals to death. And Daniel seems to be focused on nothing more than vegans themselves. That's fine, Daniel. You'll learn at some point. Does your brain do well without B vitamins and lower absorbed iron? No, but that's why I have a lot of B vitamins as well as a lot of iron. So your question is irrelevant because I have more B vitamin probably than even you, Tommy. So that's fine. Meat is a necessary part of our diet. Where's the evidence for that claim? Get a job? Well, you're welcome to send me money if you want. You can super chat and I welcome it, Hammers. Thank you for that, for being concerned with me. I don't really... I have a job already and I worked before this and I'll work after this, but you know, I dedicate most of my time to fighting for the rights of animals. I have a feeling that Tommy asked ChatGPT, tell me all stupid excuses not to go vegan. I will not be lectured by a white man on morality. Oh, okay, so you are a racist. Okay, gotcha. That's fine. You're incredibly cringe. That's perfectly fine. My argument says there's no need to exploit innocent animals, so therefore you shouldn't do it. Please elaborate on vegan sushi. Well, you don't need to have sushi to have fish, you know? Like, sushi isn't fish by default. I think it means rice, if I'm not mistaken. So you can just get sushi rice, you can get the nori, and you can make it yourself. We did that. I did that with my friends. You can buy some of these nice schnitzels that are vegan, cut them up into pieces. Delicious sushi. But you can make it, or you can buy it. I don't know where you live, but here in Amsterdam we have some amazing sushi options, vegan sushi options. Vegans are dickheads and you're obsessed with non-vegans. No, Chris, I'll make it easier for you, because you see, you have to pay attention, Chris, okay? I'll even pause the treadmill for a second, specifically for you. I think it was 8 kilometers. Okay, so Chris, listen. I'll even stop the fan. We don't care about vegans or non-vegans. I couldn't give two shit who you are, how you label yourself, or what you go through life. Not my choice. You do what you want to do. What I'm here is to fight against the exploitation of non-human animals. And you just happen to be the one that's causing it if you're not vegan, okay? Whether you want to call yourself vegan or not, I don't give a shit. You know, call yourself, I don't know, a plant if you want. Call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. I don't care. Just stop exploiting innocent animals, okay? Stop being violent towards innocent animals. Stop the oppression that you are committing towards innocent animals, okay? Stop being an oppressor. Because when you choose to be an oppressor towards innocent animals, you're making a conscious choice to say that I have power over them, they're different than me, therefore it's justified. These are literally the same reasons that we did racism, that we did sexism. They're just a different thing. They're called speciesism. An individual is born of a different species, and you're saying because they're born of a different species, it's justified to cut their throat. Don't be that person, okay? Try to be smart. I know it's very difficult for you, but try, okay? Tommy Cat is a Temu troll. That's funny. You should get yourself a girlfriend or a PS5. Every money that I have to put money into a PS5, that would be stupid. I barely have money. I don't make enough money to even be able to replace my equipment when it breaks, so I will not be doing that. As for a girlfriend, oh, I go out with girls, why not? I go out with people that I like, who cares? But you get angry with people who aren't vegan. Yeah, because I get angry with people who are exploiting innocent animals to death. Can we just not let people live their life how they want it? No, we wouldn't let somebody live their life if they wanted to commit rape all day long, or if they wanted to kill people all day long. We can't just let people live their life how they want it. There is a limit. When you are exploiting or oppressing others, that's a limit. You should stop, and you shouldn't be living your life in a way that affects others negatively, especially if you can do something about it. It isn't possible to get the whole world to become vegan. No, but it's possible for the whole world to be plant-based. I'm not going to stop exploiting animals. That's fine. I mean, thank you for admitting that you're a person who exploits animals. I hope you get to reconsider. Google Chrome, Google Chrome. If you want to debate me, you're welcome to join to join the Discord channel. Yeah, I see just a lot of ad hominems in the chat. Maybe at some point you guys will be able to provide an argument. Otherwise, you know, ad hominems don't get us anywhere. I hope you understand that. We need people to actually make arguments against this, if you have anything. No, he doesn't get girls. He gets men. His girlfriend is that 40-year-old vegan. And even if I did get men, what's your problem with that? Do you have a problem with who I choose to have consensual intercourse with? Not that David has had consensual intercourse with me. That's funny. But even if it were the case, you have a problem with consensual intercourse between two adulting, consenting sentient beings? You probably do. You sound like the type of person who's a homophobe also. You use strawman arguments? Well, you're welcome to explain to me which strawman argument did I use in a situation, and I'm welcome to listen and change my own view. The only argument against veganism is you don't care enough, lol. Nelson, I think that was your argument, wasn't it? Here's my argument because I want to. Yeah, there you go. You're the type of person who says, well, why is raping somebody wrong? Here's my argument, because I want to. Why is slavery wrong? Here's my argument, because I want to. Why is children working in factories wrong? Here's my argument, because I want to. Why is killing people wrong? Here's my argument, because I want to. Why is shooting dogs randomly wrong? Here's my argument, because I want to. Tell me. More, give me more. White, male, cis, middle class hero. I'm not a hero. I am a white male, cis. I don't know if I'm middle class. I would call myself lower class because I can barely get out of poverty these days. Tell me who said it's wrong. Yeah, you're right. I would expect somebody like you. I woke up late to think slavery is not wrong. That's perfectly fine. They always do that, don't they? Whenever they want to justify their exploitation of non-human animals, they end up justifying human slavery without absolutely any issues. I'll wait. Well, you can wait in Discord if you want to debate me, okay? I'm not here to debate. I'm here to debate on Discord if you want to debate me. Otherwise, I'm not going to debate you in the chat. You just seem like a disingenuous person anyway. Your whole argument was because I want to, right? So that doesn't sound like a good argument. Bestiality is wrong even if both sentient beings consent, to be fair. Well, no, bestiality is wrong is because the animal cannot consent. That's why bestiality is wrong. If the animal could consent, like two individuals of different species that can actually give consent, and that means freely given, retractable, informed, enthusiastic, and specific, it wouldn't be wrong. Because there's nothing inherently wrong in it. That's what I thought. Ha 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 ha. Well, at least you're laughing. At least you're admitting that I'm funny. So I appreciate you calling me funny. Yeah, I see there's nonsense in there. I'm gonna go back to Discord. Let's see if there's more there.
Leverage, which one is best for you?
Oh, that's great.
Because a supplement is a supplement, but depending on the brand, just like everything else, you know, a t-shirt is a t-shirt, but a Nike t-shirt will cost a lot more than a t-shirt that has no branding, because you're paying for the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a problem. Just go take a supplement and be vegan. Like you can do even right now. Like personally, when I went vegan, I went and I ordered a supplement online and I went vegan. I mean that was not difficult, right?
I mean, for me, and this is only for me, so I'm just giving you my experience here. I used this company when I first started out because I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. This is a company called Huel. They will pretty much do everything for you, and everything is what do you call it? It's full of nutrients.
Oh.
And it's like a shake.
Because they're scared.
Oh.
That's why.
Okay. Shop.
What? You're still worried about vitamins?
Vegan from now on. No beer.
Well, he was saying that he didn't know how to properly view his nutrition and stuff like that. So I was just telling him how I started out with that, which is Huel.
Well, no. I think Challenge 22 potentially would be one of the best sources rather than actually learn how to do things. Nowhere. If you're interested, if you look in the chat, non-vegans just posted it. You sign up, they put you in a WhatsApp or a Facebook group. It's
Oh yeah. I joined before, and another. I think it was a girl, or I don't know who, or maybe you. I don't remember. It was like a month ago.
Okay.
Someone sent me this same thing. I joined, but then I didn't use it because, I don't know. I had to buy stuff. You know, they send like daily things, and I don't like that type of things. I don't know. I just like a meal with all the things I need.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that compulsory that you have to buy. It's just reminders of stuff that might be beneficial for you. It's just to help you along the way, but you don't have to buy. You're not obligated.
Where do you live, Nowhere Man? If I may ask.
Spain.
Spain. Let me see if there is this thing. Have you ever heard of Every Foods? I'm not sure if it is in Spain though.
No, I think I do.
So let me see. Countries. No, there's in Belgium, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Austria, and Germany. No, okay. No. There's no in Spain. But there are, I'm sure, other solutions. So, for example, Every Foods is a service where they just send you frozen meals, frozen vegan meals. You just pop them in a pan, and Bob's your uncle. Same, I'm sure there are services like that also in Spain.
If you keep an eye out for Vegan Jesus, he's usually in Spain, so he could potentially help you.
I'll ask ChatGPT also.
Right now, I try to consume enough vegetables, and mostly I eat lentils, rice, cauliflower, and other stuff like that. But because I don't want to eat or consume animal products anymore. But yes, I'm a little bit lost about what to eat.
So as far as I know, in Spain, you can also find, like, in the supermarket where I was specifically, I think I was in a city, but not a big city, not like Barcelona or something. And you could find like vegan paella. You could find the vegan
Paella?
tortilla. Yeah. Vegan
Yeah, I think
paella,
I
vegan
can do this.
tortilla. You can find all of that stuff already made if you're like a little bit on the lazy side, as I am.
Oh.
But if not, you can also make it yourself. There's so many recipes out there. And Challenge
Well,
22,
I
they
would
just help
like-
you with making sure you get balanced meals. But there's so many options. Like, if you want, I can also give you a lot of Instagram accounts that make great food. But I'm sure you can also find those yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do this typical food of my country too. Not to buy them made because, you know, for mostly people here, not most, but some people, one of them is me, buying this type of things made. It's for some of us, it's like a sin. So I would like to make it by myself.
Yeah, I've been making paella, vegan paella, for long before being vegan. I never liked the fish taste in paella, so I always made it vegan myself. And it's so easy, and it ends up being so delicious, you won't miss anything else. But, you know, the argument isn't about food, by the way, right? Like, the argument is about animals, which I'm sure you already had the conversation.
Yeah, no, I don't consume animals or animal products anymore.
Nice.
But what I said is, you know, I'm a little bit lost, so that's why I joined here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's if you can easily make tortilla and paella, by the way. Like, you can easily veganize anything. You can either ask ChatGPT, or you can find some vegan influencers that are specifically Spanish, and they usually have some recipes that are
Oh yeah.
time and tested.
I found so Instagram vegan creator content from Spain. Yeah, and I started following them. But you know, they do things that I didn't try before. They use tofu and another thing. Yeah, more things, plant-based products that I didn't use before, and I don't know where to start. That's the thing that I didn't. I was not in this field before, so yeah, that's it. I think that it's just going into it and try recipes.
Sounds good. Nice. Love to hear it.
Okay, guys, thank you for your recommend. I will save this video.
Nice. And Nowhere Man, by the way, what you were told, Huel, I think Huel is in Spain, and it's a good alternative to have in an emergency, right? Like, I have some Huel meals that they're essentially nutritiously complete, so they contain all the micro and macronutrients. And if at some point you're in a time crunch and you need something quick, you can just pop some water on them, or you get the sweet ones, which taste like chocolate or banana or stuff, and they're nutritionally complete. They're very good. They're a good alternative in situations when you have no time.
Yeah, I will check Heal too. Yeah. Okay, let me save this video on the Heal page. Okay, Heal. Where was it? Here. Yeah. Here. Okay, so I will check that. Maybe I joined when I tried some recipes and I researched about the website you sent me.
Nice.
Okay, have a nice day, guys. Thank you.
Cheers. Take it easy.
Take care. Hello, Matthias. It's Asma. How are you? Damn. Hello, know some OP. Rahul, how are you, Rahul?
You ask them when they leave.
Oh my god, my name.
It's like you press a button, you know? Like you tell their name, it's like pressing a button and then they leave. Okay, let's see what the chat is saying. Some nonsense I saw. So what if people want to exploit animals and eat meat? I don't care. If I want to exploit women, doesn't mean I should be allowed to, does it? If I want to exploit people of a different ethnicity, doesn't mean I should be allowed to. It doesn't matter whether you want to or not. You have to consider individuals, sentient individuals, morally, because they deserve moral consideration just as much as you do. Eating meat provides the body with highly bioavailable bullshit. Yeah, but you can get all that bullshit from plants also. You got this. God, let being autistic stop you. I mean, I'm assuming you're calling me autistic, and that's perfectly fine. I don't have a problem with being called autistic or being called neurodivergent. But if that's your whole argument, that I'm being neurodivergent, it's not much of an argument against my argument. It's just a, it seems like it's just an addressing of me, not even an attack, just you saying that I'm neurodivergent, which, that's fine. No problem there. I'm not vegan because I am human. So you support animal abuse because you were born of a certain species. Gotcha. You can't compare humans to adults. Sure. That's funny because that's what people say when they say you can't compare humans to animals, right? It's like you can't compare humans to adults. That's funny. It's a choice, my choice. All animals are game. It's a choice whether I want to abuse animals or not, and because I can, it is my choice. So all animals have to abide by my choice whether I want to abuse them or not. You seem like a nice person, Laguna. I mean, you know, animal abusers, how nice can you be? I woke up late seems to be very amused by this whole thing, but still doesn't have enough of the courage to actually come and debate me. That's okay, I woke up late. Being a coward isn't necessarily bad. Just, I mean, it is when you're the one out of cowardice you're choosing to exploit innocent animals. That's kind of fucked. I'm on the Jordan Peterson shit diet because I tried not eating shit and I was hospitalized. Well, that's okay if you want to eat shit, man. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure you eat your own shit and not exploit others for their shit. Why are people so freaking... I get you, Linda. It's just a bunch, I see. There's just like 4 or 5 people in the chat now who are being stupid, aren't they? But that's fine, Linda. They will always be. They're triggered. They're like, how dare you tell me not to exploit innocent animals? How dare you? Do you see this cow? How dare you tell me not cut their throat, chop them into pieces? Yeah, they were born. Yeah, they desire to live. But how dare you tell me not to be violent towards innocent animals? I have the right to be violent towards them because I have power over them. Yeah, that's exactly how violent men think about women when they commit violence towards them because they say they have power over them. But that's different somehow. Why? Because society taught me that it's wrong. And I cannot think for myself otherwise, in any other way other than how society tells me to think. You see, I'm nothing more than an NPC. See, like global vibe. I only eat fresh organic meat from animals fed grass and vegetable mix. I'm sure you do, global vibe. The fact that your animals were treated nicely means that you probably care about animals, but you don't actually care about them, right? You're just here to virtue signal, right? You have enough money to buy fresh organic meat, and you choose to, instead of use all that money and all that privilege that you have to actually not exploit innocent animals and be able to be even healthier. But you choose, what do you choose to do? You choose to exploit innocent animals and then virtue signal over everyone else that, look at me, I have more money than you. I can buy everything else that I want and have it as high quality as I want so that I don't feel bad about it. Well, you should still feel bad about it. Animals are still exploited, abused, and slaughtered for you. This whole organic thing is nothing more than a scam to make you buy these products. Because organic meat just means that the animals were fed organic. The regulations for organic doesn't mean anything about how the animal was treated, or barely anything. They still have their babies taken away from them for dairy, they still get killed, and they still very much get abused. So, yeah. Maybe don't virtue signal and, you know, come from a position of privilege like that and be like, you know what, I'm better. You know, not everyone can afford all that shit, first of all. And second of all, stop exploiting animals, okay? Virtue signaling from a position of violence, it's kind of a fucked up position to be in. Yeah, okay, I see nobody saying anything worth saying, so let's go back to the... Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Well, nothing in my chat is worth even reading. It's just a couple of, like, 5 people who are... who just are desperately trying to virtue signal or, you know, hate on vegans because they don't understand what being vegan means. So a lot of people, like, I don't know, I keep trying to explain to people that veganism is about animals, but you know, they don't get it.
Same here.
It's also like the stupidest arguments ever. Like, we are predators. The fuck? That's not something to be proud of. I'm a predator is not something you should say proudly. It's something you should try to change. And also, all of them have such a big voice in the chat, but they have absolutely zero balls to actually come here and debate. Hey, Something Sheng, do you want to have a conversation? Alright, coming back to the chat. Okay, well, if nobody wants to have conversations, I might just put on a video. Find God. Well, I looked in my underwear, there was no God. I looked in the toilet, there was no God. Well, there was a little bit of a shit in the morning. I guess that's God. Okay, well, let's watch a video and then go. If nobody's courageous enough to debate me, what can we do about it? They just rather cowered in the chat Oh, there's a vegan here who's saying true things that I feel guilty about. Oh yeah, Natalie Fulton had a new video, didn't she?
I've watched a lot of vegan documentaries.
Okay, let's watch this. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Okay. Wait, I'm trying to open the. No, not this. Oh, you see it here. It's a bit small, isn't it? Maybe if I put it here. Wait, how should I put it that you also see me and this? Let's try it. Okay. Let's remove this. Let's remove this. And now. Oh, that's funny. Let me put it on top. This is pretty good, huh? This is pretty good. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Okay. Let's watch this video together.
A lot of them. And some of them have been amazing. Game Changers made me consider the healthiness of plant-based diets. Dominion turned me into a vegan activist. And Cowspiracy radicalized me toward caring about climate change. But I wouldn't show any of those documentaries to my family. They're not really interested in health or the environment. And if they saw a super graphic documentary like Dominion and didn't go vegan, I'm just not sure if I could emotionally reckon with that. But Jack Hancock just released a new documentary, The Dying Trade, and
I've heard of this documentary. I haven't seen it though. I think his father was like a slaughterhouse worker or something, right?
really feel like not only would my family enjoy it, but that they would understand me at a deeper level. And watching it even helped me understand them more. If you're new here, hello, my name is Natalie. I talk about animal rights, politics, culture, and whether you're vegan, vegetarian, or eat meat, I think you're going to get a lot out of this video. Today, I'm reviewing The Dying Trade by Jack Hancock. It is free on YouTube, so let's dive in. The
Hell yeah, love to see it. Nice.
documentary starts out very serious, and it establishes...
By the way, can we all just give a shout out on how awesome Natalie is? Like, she's so cool, isn't she? Like, she's always so well spoken. I keep trying to pause it in a way that she doesn't go awkward. And like, she tries to, like, I feel like she's smart about her outreach. I really like her. I constantly follow her and I appreciate what she's doing. So anyway, let's move on.
So
just
let's dive
little bit of
in.
appreciation.
The documentary starts out very serious, and it establishes the main source of tension throughout the movie, which is Jack's relationship with his father. Jack is an animal rights activist, and his father works at a slaughterhouse. Not only does his father work at a slaughterhouse, but his grandfather did, his great-grandfather did, and meat has been their family business for generations.
Can you imagine growing up in that family? Can you imagine how fucked up it is to grow up in that family? I don't think I would like it. I think it would be pretty fucked up.
This distance between values has become the elephant in the room for Jack and his father's relationship. I think most vegans have experience with this feeling of disconnection in their close relationships. I remember when I first told my sister I went vegan, and she immediately burst into tears and told me not to talk to her about it. And honestly, it sucked. When you dedicate your life to solving a problem that your family is denying even exists, that's not easy.
Do you see a serious welfare problem with the meat industry?
Not really, no.
But if I'm dedicating my life to a problem that you don't even think exists, then surely you think I'm being a bit silly or naive.
I think maybe, yes.
His dad
Wow. Holy shit. Now that's a shitty relationship.
tells him about Temple Grandin, who is a meat industry animal welfare consultant. Jack interviews her about slaughterhouse design, gestation crates, how pigs are killed in gas chambers, and Grandin refuses to even talk about chickens, so Jack investigates a chicken farm instead. I have personal issues with Temple Grandin. When we were running a campaign to close down the largest lamb slaughterhouse in the country, after we released an undercover investigation that showed criminal animal abuse, she actually came out in defense of the slaughterhouse. But the interview was well done because you can tell Grandin does feel conflicted over her role in the meat industry, and it shows how far people will go to defend the indefensible if their paycheck depends on it, which is a point we'll come back to later. When Jack's at the chicken farm looking at these animals in pain, he talks about how the scale of animal suffering can make it feel like it's not even real, and he wonders if the fact that animal abuse is so normalized makes it too difficult for people, including his dad, to treat it like a real problem.
I can understand that. I can understand how a lot of people who they understand the injustice. In fact, I think we've seen it more and more recently that a lot of people admit to the injustice that is happening within animal agriculture. They admit that factory farming is fucked. They admit that all of it, but then they continue paying for it. They continue demanding it because, yeah, it does feel a little bit unreal. But I think it's more than just a disconnect, because when you see it, even in the documentary, it's like, it's fucked. You already know it's fucked. That's how you come to that conclusion. But I think the problem is that that's not enough anymore because of the sheer numbers, the sheer goriness of it. It's too much, right? Like, I feel like our brain, at some point when it becomes too gory, we dissociate because it's too gory, right? So animal agriculture just remains, like, it could either remain somewhere in the middle where it kind of exploits animals in a way where you find like, well, that's kind of fucked, or it just went the extreme where it's extremely gory. So I don't know.
Definitely feel like that sometimes. Like, the problem of animal exploitation is too big, and it feels like whatever we do, there are going to be billions of animals tortured every year. When you open yourself up to feeling the animal suffering all around us, it can be really hard. I get why people pretend it's not a problem, because when you admit that it is, it's so easy to fall into a pit of despair. Next, Jack interviews a slaughterhouse worker named Tom who spent 15 years in the industry, and he shares some harrowing details. At one point, Tom heard his coworker die by getting chopped in half by one of the machines. And this is why
What the fuck? One of the coworkers died by getting chopped in half by the machines? And non-vegans in my chat are justifying this? Non-vegans in my chat are like, I care about humans. I put humans above animals. That's why I pay for some humans to be chopped in half by machines. All for something I don't need, for my own pleasure. Jesus Christ.
It drives me crazy when people accuse animal rights activists of not caring about humans, because there are so many human rights violations within the meat industry, and the mental health of slaughterhouse workers is something people rarely talk about. Like many slaughterhouse workers, Tom suffers from PITS, or perpetration-induced traumatic stress, which is a form of trauma that comes from something they did as opposed to something that was done to them. Jack interviews Rachel McNair, who wrote a book about PITS, and he brings up a point that I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, which is basically, why should we have any empathy for those who are perpetuating violence? Don't they deserve these negative impacts?
I don't agree with that. I don't think they deserve the negative impacts. I think a lot of the times they're put in that position because they don't know any better. And I think we should rise above it and not say stuff like they deserve it.
McNair says that when people are suffering from this type of trauma, if they don't get the help they need, they're more likely to keep being violent, and then they can traumatize more people, and the cycle of violence will just continue, which is obviously not what we want. And even though it's been years since Tom worked at a slaughterhouse, he still has nightmares 6 nights a week. He still feels violent urges toward others in a way that
He feels violent urges towards the others. Hello, non-vegans. Tell me how this is justified. Come on, vegans are slow, I see you. Tell me how it's justified to make people like this people like Tom not just suffer from PTSD in pits. Can you explain to me how is it justified to make this person have violent thoughts because you get pleasure from it? I'm waiting.
He never did before he did that type of work, and he's still waiting for psychological treatment. Jack wants to know if his dad has experienced any trauma like that, but his dad doesn't know what to say. And McNair says that maybe his dad is resilient. Some people do react negatively to traumatic events, but a lot of people just learn how to deal with it. Throughout the documentary, Jack reckons with the idea of his dad as his father, who loves him and taught him to love animals, versus his dad as someone who works for the evil meat industry.
I think that's also something that we always struggle with, right? Like the relationship with our parents and the relationship with our family members, knowing that, hey, they are justifying something as horrific as that. It makes my skin crawl knowing that somebody as stupid as Vegans Are Slow in the chat here has the same position as my mom or my dad. But you know, it's my mom and my dad are ignorant to it. Vegans Are Slow is just stupid, right? So that's the whole thing about it.
This internal turmoil leads Jack to Alex Hershaft, who is a Holocaust survivor turned animal rights activist. Alex compares meat eaters to Nazis and says that his daughter is a source of disappointment to him because she eats animals. Jack asks Alex if the blame should be put on consumers or on the meat industry itself, but Alex is firm in his belief that it's the consumer's fault. I disagree, but we'll come back to that later. Alex brings up how pigs are killed in CO2 gas chambers, and that inspires Jack to show footage of this to his dad. And once again, his dad avoids making any concrete statements, but he's clearly disturbed by the footage. Jack wonders if the fact that his dad was first taken to a slaughterhouse at 9 years old has made him shut down his emotion.
9 years old? Taking a 9-year-old child to a slaughterhouse? What the fuck? That's fucked. Wow. That's fucking insane.
When it comes to animals, and if witnessing harm to animals makes people numb. That question leads Jack to interview undercover investigator and author Gail Eisnitz. There are plenty of emotionally devastating moments in this documentary, but one that stands out to me is when Eisnitz recounts the moment she decided to dedicate her life toward helping animals. She was watching a nature documentary where a man shoots a mother polar bear in front of her 2 cubs, and they look.
And we have somebody in our chat who likes to shoot the mother of these cubs in the face in front of them. I think, well, what is it? Vegans Are Slow. This person loves to shoot animals in front of their babies. Mother animals in front of their babies.
Terrified and bewildered, and something about that just really upset me. Eisnitz provides the opposite viewpoint to Alex regarding the consumer versus meat industry blame conversation, and she puts the responsibility on the meat industry. If you also think it's more of a systemic issue, then please donate to Pro Animal Future today. We're bringing animal rights into the political mainstream where big change happens. We're especially looking for monthly donors because they are all matched, so $50 a month would become $100 a month. Jack reflects on how if you blame individuals for the meat industry, it's going to be almost impossible to maintain positive relationships with non-vegans. This is a common source of tension for vegans. I've heard of marriages ending after one person goes vegan and the other.
I see somebody crying in the chat about Tom, literally, I don't know who you are and you don't really exist in my universe. So I haven't seen your question, but you're welcome to ask your question again. And by the way, me not answering your question does not mean I'm refusing to answer it or that I'm intellectually dishonest. It could also just mean that I haven't seen your question. So maybe try Tom being a little bit understanding on the fact that I am watching a video right now, as you see.
Doesn't. This tension is Melanie Joy's area of expertise, and Jack asks her how to deal with his relationship with his dad. She tells him that his dad is probably protecting himself from the internal conflict he feels by denying that there's a problem with what happens to animals at all. Then Melanie asks Jack, and this is so funny to me because I think it's so obvious. She asks Jack if he's ever been vulnerable about his feelings to his dad. And Jack says that he hasn't. And it just made me think about how men are socialized to bury their feelings and never be vulnerable, and how that lack of emotional depth has negative impacts on their relationships. Melanie tells Jack to write his dad a letter that just lays it all out there. But Jack says he isn't ready. Jack interviews his dad one last time and asks about his early experiences with animal slaughter, like how it felt as a kid. And his dad finally admits that he detached from the reality of what he was doing as a coping strategy.
And part of it, I suppose, you detach yourself from it. You know, you don't think too much about it. You know, you detach yourself. I suppose it's a coping strategy, really. So, yeah.
I'm not going to spoil the...
Oh. Putting people in that position is just so sickening. And then you see somebody in the chat like this person, Tom, maybe YouTube is hiding your question because I have yet to see a question from you other than this statement after the previous statement crying about the fact that I refuse to answer your question. So maybe try refreshing the page and see if your question was even popped up in the chat, because maybe it wasn't. So again, your question, I have not seen it. Has anybody else seen Tom's question? And if so, please tell me what Tom's question is, because I have not seen it in my chat.
But I will tell you that it made me cry in a good way. So, why was The Dying Trade so good, and why do I want to show it to my family? Some vegan documentaries can come across as preachy, like they just have one goal, which is to get you to go vegan, and they're going to beat you over the head with that the entire time. One way vegan filmmakers attempt to be less preachy is
They aren't posting any questions. Yeah, they aren't posting any questions, exactly. Is it cruel to have an animal as a pet? Is it cruel to bring into existence an animal and for your companionship? Yes, it's still exploitative. But if you choose to take them from a shelter and give them a good life where you don't treat them like an object, there's no cruelty in that, no.
take viewers along on their vegan journey, like in Cowspiracy. Kip, the director, was vegan for years before he made Cowspiracy, but the story is told as if he's going vegan throughout the movie, which always felt dishonest to me. Jack manages to be an unapologetic vegan while still being relatable and compelling, which is not easy to do. I was also surprised by how I felt about his dad. I didn't think I would hate him, but I didn't think I'd find him so endearing. He's got this sweet laugh. He seems like a genuinely...
I don't see Tom's question. Me neither. So Tom, yet again, reformulate your question. YouTube is hiding it. And if you have a problem with YouTube, talk it over with YouTube.
good man. And he's just very British. Watching them interact was comical because you can tell they're both so emotionally incapable of being honest with each other. And I think that's how...
God damn it. Is it cruel to have chickens for eggs and cows for milk? Yes, you're exploiting two innocent animals for what their body gives. Only female chickens lay eggs, therefore the male chicks are exploited to death. They're killed, of course. Chickens, when they can no longer lay eggs, they're also killed. Chickens are, the wild chickens lay between 12 to 15 eggs per year. The ones that we selectively bred lay over 300 eggs per year. It is very cruel and detrimental to their health, so no. Cows only produce milk after they have babies. Farmers forcefully inseminate the cows. They take away their babies so that they can have the milk. They kill the babies that are male because they don't produce milk. And they kill the female cows when their milk production declines. So yes. Can you read my last question? Let me see, fella. Oh, I can't find it, fella. Let me see if I... Can you re-put the question? Oh, I see it here. I asked them, so, do you agree to the statement, we ought to use anyone below us? And he said yes. Yeah, well, racist thinking, right? Oppressive mind. This is how the oppressive mindset works. I have power over somebody else, therefore I should do it. There you go. Might makes right. I got my answer by your refusal to address the question. Tom still didn't figure it out that YouTube is hiding his question. Oh my god, Tom. You're such a Nancy. Is Nancy a good way of saying it? You're just like just a silly person. Stop being silly. Stop being silly, Tom. Stop being silly, okay? Reformulate your question, because there's been no question. Nobody has seen any question here.
A lot of us feel in our close relationships. Like we want to be truthful, but we don't want to hurt each other, so we end up walking on vegan eggshells. That's really what makes this documentary stand out. It's relatable. Not everyone cares about animal rights or the environment, but everyone knows what it's like to have a difficult personal relationship. And everyone wants to root for a father and son to understand each other better. You can tell Jack doesn't want to dislike or judge his father, but the fact that he's a slaughterhouse worker makes that a formidable...
Nancy usually means soft feminine man. Oh, okay, that's not what I meant. I'm sorry. I didn't know that that's what it means. You can be a soft feminine man. That's fine. Just don't victimize yourself. That's what I was going for.
Task. Vegans often come across as judgmental, even when we don't mean to. But Jack didn't, because his desire to understand his father felt so earnest. I got really invested in their relationship, and I was rooting for them the entire time. The Dying Trade did an excellent job of highlighting the internal conflict meat industry workers feel for the role they cause in harming animals. It's easy to just write them off as bad people, but I think most of us compromise our values at some level to make ends meet. It's an unfortunate reality of capitalism, because when profit comes first, we all make compromises. We need to talk about the use of graphic footage. Other than pigs in gas chambers, there's no footage of animals being killed, but it may be a tough watch if you are sensitive to footage. I watched it with my mother-in-law, and she was covering her eyes a lot of the time. I'm generally pro graphic footage because that's what made me go vegan, and I think the Dying Trade uses it appropriately and strategically. It's not gory for the sake of being gory, and it's got nothing on Dominion or Earthlings. A lot of the time, vegan documentaries try to do too much. There's so many important reasons to care about this issue, like animal welfare, climate change, and health. And when you try to cover all of that, you can't actually deeply investigate one topic. By keeping a narrow focus, Jack zeroes in on what makes him stand out. He's not just another vegan who believes in animal liberation. He's the first man in his bloodline to not only reject working in the meat trade, but to do whatever he can to help end it. And that's why the Dying Trade worked. It's authentic, it's real, it'll make you emotional, and after watching it, you may even appreciate your relationship with your family more. I know I do. I'm sorry this review was so glowing. My documentary reviews are usually kind of mean, which I prefer because it shows that I'm being honest. But I don't have anything mean to say about this one. So give it a watch, donate to Pro Animal Future, and I'll see you next time. I've watched...
Okay. That was a good video, right? Natalie, she's an excellent YouTuber. Can we say that? YouTuber? She really does a great job explaining things. And I think there was also one Earthling Ed video, which I wanted to watch. I know maybe you guys have watched it already, but I haven't watched it. So I'm going to watch it here. If you want to spend some time with me while we watch the Earthling Ed video. And then I'm going to go, okay? I don't know why we're doing things this way today. We're doing it a little bit differently. We generally just have conversations on Discord. Yeah. Animals are persons because the word person means role or character, and since animals have personalities, they are persons. Very well pointed out, Marissa. Like and comment. Yes, you are right about that. Thank you for that. Yes, I liked it. Let me comment also. You're right. Go back to my history. Show history. Here it comes.
I've watched a lot of vegan documentaries.
Sorry, pause that. Okay, let's drop some comments in here for Natalie. Doing a banging job. I gotta make this bigger. That's what she said. Appreciate the review. Makes me want to see it and show it to my family. Maybe, I hope it has subtitles so that I can translate them into Romanian for them. Actually, if it had Romanian subtitles, I would actually send it to my family. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's watch some of Earthling Ed's video. Because I think he had a new video here.
Step on.
Okay.
Everything that Brilliant has to offer. So a huge thank you to Brilliant. And now,
Today,
let's check out that debate.
hi Jason.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. My name is Ed. Today I am at Arizona State University with a banner that says, "Give me your best argument for not being vegan." You very kindly sat down, which obviously I appreciate immensely, but I'm wondering, what is your response to the banner in question?
I just want to see what your response is to why you think that animals deserve our moral or ethical consideration in the first place.
Because they're sentient beings who have the capacity to experience subjectively. And I think because they can experience subjectively, they deserve to be included within our circle of moral consideration. What do you think?
Okay. I see that, and I think in an ideal world, that would be great if everyone could have all their needs met. But, you know, it's tough out here, and people need to be able to eat to survive. And, you know, animal agriculture is a very strong and plentiful source of food for a lot of people, and as well as cheap. So I think that in this world where we need to, you know, eat or be eaten, we should be the ones that are eating so that we can continue to survive.
Is it a world where you're either eat or be eaten? I think that's a little bit much. I think maybe there is some incredible hardship in a capitalist world, which I'll agree to, but I don't think it's either you stab somebody or they stab you. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration.
And thrive with humanity.
Sure. Well, we say eat or be eaten, don't we? But if we don't eat cows, they won't eat us.
Right.
If we don't eat chickens, they won't eat us. So us abstaining from eating animals doesn't mean that we will be eaten. It just means that we eat something else instead. And when we say that animal agriculture provides plentiful food, it's actually incredibly inefficient. You know, the amount of resources that are used to produce the food we get from animal farming is substantially higher when it, in terms of what we get as a consequence, what we put in is substantially higher. And so if we just ate the plants to begin with, we'd have a lot more food and it'd be a lot more plentiful than it is right now. And I suppose when we talk about an ideal world, it's almost like an appeal to futility, right? We'll never have the perfect world. That doesn't mean we shouldn't strive to make it better.
Oh, I was muted, huh? I was muted. I'm sorry. Linda, I was saying that's funny. That was funny what you said. That every time you go out, you get... I'm sorry, Linda. I was saying that every time you go out, it was very funny what you said, that when you go out, you get eaten. That was funny.
And, abstaining from eating animals is a very simple way of making it substantially better for a lot of beings, potentially a lot of humans as well. What holds you back?
I think it's really just that why... Like, it's already our habit, and we have so many more things to consider, like our careers and such. Why should we have to introduce this other thing, like, oh, I can't eat this whole group of foods that I've grown up eating all my life now, and so now I've got to figure out a whole new diet.
It's not about food, bro. It's about the animals.
That will, sustain my high energy needs. Like I don't have a car, so I have to commute to work 6 miles both ways. So it requires a lot of energy, which I can get a lot of that from meat.
Well, you can get calories from meat, but a lot of our energy we burn glucose as energy as a primary fuel source. So eating good whole carbohydrate, complex carbs would be better for an energy thing. But that point aside, once we've changed our routines,
I have to disagree with Ed on that one. Yes, carbohydrates are the best source for energy, but every single thing that has calories is a source of energy. Protein, fats, all of them are literally measured in calories because those are measurements of energy. So you get energy from all of those foods.
Changed our new normals. Nothing about our life changes. Now, you can still pursue the same career you want to pursue. You can still, pursue the same dreams and the same life that you want to pursue. It's just now when you eat 3 times a day, you're not eating animals, you're just eating plants. So sure, at the beginning, you have to find new ways of eating. You have to get used to going to different parts of a supermarket or cooking with different ingredients. But when you've done that, you're not expending any more energy than you would cooking food anyway, or sourcing food in the first place. It's just about changing those initial habits. The problem is, if I may ask this question, is when we use this argument, what we're inherently saying is that our convenience is worth more than their subjective experiences. So what do you think has higher value, our convenience or the life and subjective experiences of an animal?
By the way, can we get some props for Ed? I think his outreach style has definitely improved recently, hasn't it? Like he talks a lot more about experience of life and all this. Like I think he's gotten better and better recently, which I really appreciate. I'm saying this as if I'm some form of authority to judge that, but I'm watching his videos, so I'm judging what he's saying. But he's always been amazing, right? Like he's always been an absolutely amazing outreacher.
I would absolutely agree with you there. I think that's it's a good comparison there. But I would like to bring it back to a point that you talked about earlier, whether once we have that change implemented, then it's easy. You don't have to. It's not that much work anymore. I would argue that it's a lot easier for me to just slap a steak on the grill and cook that up real quick, and then I've got like two meals out of that. Whereas I have to, if I want to make a vegetable meal, then I have to chop up all the carrots and broccoli and do this wide spread of things that. Require a lot more individual attention than just slapping a piece of meat on there and cooking.
But you don't just eat a piece of steak, though, do you?
No, I eat other things, but the steak is so I would, if I eat the steak, I would have the steak and green beans or something. Perfect. But
Sorry, I was muted again. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna mute myself anymore. You know what? Because every time I mute myself, I forget to unmute myself. I just see that Tom is being intellectually dishonest, so I'm gonna put you in a timeout, Tom, okay? Whenever you're ready to come back, we'll listen to you, okay?
If I eat just vegetables, I have to have the green beans, the broccoli.
Come on, you can hear me now. I'm sorry, I was muted.
carrots, everything to give me enough energy to.
Well, why not just replace the steak with a protein source like tempeh or tofu or seitan or a plant-based substitute, and then you just slap that on and then just cook up your green beans and your broccoli exactly the same.
It's a good point. Yes. Yeah, I don't know what to say that one.
It's all about changing our view of food, isn't it? It's all about recognizing that we don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? We're not changing everything. We're just merely looking for ways that we can optimize, the way we currently live and make it plant-based. So, you're not trying to do something radical. You're just saying, right, here's what I eat. I eat a steak. What can I replace that steak with? And if you can replace it with something plant-based, like a good protein plant-based source, then nothing about your life is changing. It's just that one aspect. Instead of putting a steak on the frying pan, you're putting something else there instead. But the benefit of doing so is you're no longer causing abject harm and suffering to a sentient being. The ecological damage that comes as a consequence of that, and the potential health consequences further down the line if you were to continue doing so. The benefit of doing so is huge, not just to yourself but to others. Do you not think that benefit makes the act of simply frying something else the morally preferable act?
Yes, but also why is that my responsibility?
And I want to add to what Ed said. Any form of difficulty with the swap, any form of learning thing that you have to do goes away within a week or two, and your life becomes just as easy as before. So on top of the fact that you don't have to overcomplicate it, even if you find the change itself a little bit complicated, it becomes easier after a week or two. So even that little complication becomes easier.
Why do I need to burden myself with that? And there's 1,000 other people or millions of other people who aren't doing that.
Because nothing changes if we all have that same opinion. And you say, well, why do I need to do that? And I guess the question is, well, what right do you have to do what we do to animals? Say, well, why is it my right to have to do this? What about the right of the animals? What right do you have to do what we do to them?
Well, I wasn't put into this situation. I wasn't the one that started factory farming. I was just born into this is how we are.
But you pay for it now.
That's true.
So why does it continue now?
Because many people continue to pay for it. But if I don't pay for it, then that's not going to be that big of a difference, right?
But if you think about any cultural movement, any significant change that's ever existed that's made society better, it's always a movement, right? But every movement is just formed of individuals. And if every individual within that movement had the same position or said the same thing, then nothing would ever change. So sure, as one person, are you going to dismantle the system? No. But one person amongst a huge number of people all making those changes, yes. And that's the point, isn't it? We have to recognize.
And it's also not the only point, because while we want to keep fighting for the system and dismantle the system, which would be truly great, the point is, with every choice we're making, we are putting certain animals into slaughterhouses. Maybe by us being vegan, we're not actually dismantling the system, although, as Ed so well puts it, if more people do it, yes, you would dismantle the system, and alongside other people, you could say that the system shrinks significantly. Regardless of any of that, you still cause less demand and therefore less exploitation of animals. So certain individuals would no longer be exploited for you.
Sure, we're not these kind of omnipotent beings that can change everything, with a click of a finger. But together, with perseverance and a sense of, dedication and commitment, if enough people do something, then we can make significant changes. So it's just about believing in your abilities as being one person in amongst a group of people, and not disempowering yourself in such a way.
So how does that work when, I'm already I have friends already who are, meat eaters. How does that work when we want to go do something and then I'm always the one that's going to be, preventing us from going someplace specific, or we have to choose a specific place that will cater to my needs?
By the way, very good questions from this non-vegan person. Very good questions. These are things we constantly go through on the streets, right, when we speak to people. So it's nice to see Ed's response to them.
Isn't that kind of selfish?
Well, no, because you can go to a place that has a vegan option and your friends can still enjoy their non-vegan food. Obviously, we'd rather they didn't, but you just go to a place that has a vegan option, right? And then you can be vegan and your friends can choose what they choose, but fundamentally, you're not having to be awkward. And look, social situations can be tricky, but I think as long as you set boundaries straight away and say, look, I'm making this change, and I would just appreciate that when we go out to eat, we go to a place that has at least one plant-based option. I think that's an easy way of getting around that. And then who knows, maybe over time that they'll switch positions as well because of the influence that you have on them. But we shouldn't let fear of social situations stop us from following what we believe to be right. And if our friends are good friends, which I'm sure yours are, they'll surely understand that you just want to make sure that you have food at the place that you all choose to go to. So do you think your friends are the sorts of people that would be willing to go to a place that has at least one plant-based option?
That's a very good point that he makes Ed makes here, right? Like, a lot of the times we're afraid that our friends won't accept us if we become vegan, but that's not really the fear that we should have. That's not really the concern that we should have, because in reality, if your friends all of a sudden become vegan, would you no longer respect them? Would you no longer have want to be friends with them because they're vegan? I don't think it works that way. And if you say, yeah, I would no longer respect them, I no longer want to be friends with them, then you yourself might not be a good friend to that person, because we want people who are friends with us to not say, I'm no longer a friend of yours because your values have now, or because you're now living up to your actual values, or because your values have changed or anything like that, right? Unless that's something that's specifically very important to someone. But that is a very good point.
I do, but I think that also brings up a bigger kind of issue here, is that is that really, is me being vegan when I'm still going and giving my money to a not solely vegan establishment, is that helping in any way? Because it's still money's going towards animal suffering.
Yeah, well, it's supply and demand, isn't it? And so when we go to a non-vegan place, sure, it's not the ideal world we'd like to live in. I know it certainly isn't for me. I recognize that the way to make veganism more popular is to make it more accessible. And so what we really need is, of course, we need vegan restaurants, but we also need lots of non-vegan places with vegan options. So people like yourself who would maybe be interested in going vegan, but are worried of social situations, won't have to give up on their morals to socialize with their friends. So it's not perfect, but the way to view it is when you go into a non-vegan place and you pay for a vegan option, you're asking the owners of that place to provide vegan options. So the more vegan options we buy, the more they'll provide. So it's just supply and demand. So you buying a tofu pad thai, let's say, over a chicken sweet and sour dish or whatever it might be, is saying that you want more of the tofu pad thai. So it's just simple supply and demand in that sense. So actually you doing that is a good thing overall, because it provides more options for people like yourself to be able to buy in the future.
Actually, I've been asking that myself a lot. I've recently, because of becoming ultra poor. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the new world. The middle class has become poorer and the rich class has become richer. That's where we're at. Thank you, Donald fucking Trump. Fuck you to hell, Donald Trump. And fuck you to hell, capitalism. Thank you. So after all this, I have to reduce my costs, obviously, and spend as little money as possible. So I end up going to the cheapest supermarket that I can get the products from. And there are vegan products that are made by a company that literally just makes dairy products. I think it's called Melkuni or something here in the Netherlands. And I've been constantly debating whether that's something good to do, right? To give money to this company that essentially produces milk products, but I give them money I create demand for plant-based products. And I actually discussed this with the VPM and other people on my chat, and it's obviously a little bit more complicated than anything, right? But what we can say for sure is that Alpro is also a dairy company, and it's an alternative of a dairy company that creates plant products. What is it? I think like the supermarket brand also has dairy products, right? So essentially, any form of plant products you buy will be coming from a company that does some form of animal exploitation. So we do our best. Like obviously in an ideal world, we would only pay for companies that do plant-based products. But if you don't have the money or you can't afford it, I still think it's a good thing to buy plant-based products, even if it's from a company that produces animal products. So we shouldn't be too harsh on that, because I don't think you can make a case that it somehow makes animal exploitation more or less.
Okay. I think that's all I have at the moment.
I ask you some questions?
Wait. I can see arguments for and against. Signaling demand for vegan products is good, but funding participants in animal exploitation is bad. Yeah, exactly. It's too hard to say, isn't it? It's too hard to say which one is better. But I would say you as the consumer, if there's anything, right, that we shouldn't place the blame on the consumer is this, right? Like I wouldn't place the blame on the consumer on capitalism, right? I wouldn't place the blame on the consumer on, like I wouldn't blame the consumer for, why are you buying a plant product from an animal company, right? Don't buy it from a, don't care about that. Just buy plant products. Oh, look at that. Mr. David is here. Hey Chip. Hey Pia. Hey Draco. Hey Neil. Hey David. Nice to see you here. Happy birthday, bro. It was your birthday recently, right?
Absolutely, yes.
What do you think about morality when it comes to animals? You know, you asked me about why I think animals deserve moral consideration, but do you think they deserve moral consideration?
I think that I think they do, deserve moral consideration, but at the same time, a lot of things deserve moral consideration, and there's just so many beings in the world that we can't give them, like, are we going to start giving every ant that we might step on the moral consideration?
Yes, we're gonna give every ant. You don't intentionally step on them. Oh wait, I see Nick. Hey Chip, I like your argument. Wait, let me move this window. I like your argument more than Ed's, but I also like to add that we should reject receiving benefit from another's exploitation, even if it would not change anything for the individual victim. That's also true. We shouldn't just be consequentialist. I just think like the responsibility is far greater when we're being consequentialist about it. Butter is non-vegan, right? I could eat vegetables a lot more, but butter. But I guess it can be made so-called responsibly. Not if it's coming from animal products. You can buy vegan butter, and it's pretty freaking delicious. Kind of the same nutritional profile, not better, not any better. I think it's in fact a little bit better because it has less saturated fat and more unsaturated fat. So, but otherwise it would still be made by, from milk, from the exploitation of cows, from forcibly inseminating them, taking away their babies, killing their babies if they're male, and killing the females when they no longer produce milk.
That and, or setting up like a funeral for it once we step on it.
But do you not think that by being facetious in that way, we demean how simple certain things can be? I suppose by extrapolating this idea to an extreme, like a funeral for an ant, we're overlooking the fact that actually just respecting basic bodily autonomy is a very simple thing to do for someone else. Even with the case of the ant, if an ant was to walk past us now, don't stand on them, And that would be the moral thing to do, would be to not stand on them. So you said that you do think animals deserve moral consideration. Can you explain what that would look like in your eyes, or what that should look like?
Probably like, how we treat our dogs and our cats and any pets that we have in our home. Yeah.
And how do we treat them?
We treat them well, and we...
That is such a good question. So if you think animals deserve moral consideration, how would you... Let me see how he asked that again, because that was such a good question.
The moral thing to do would be to not stand on them. So you said that you do think animals deserve moral consideration. Can you explain what that would look like in your eyes?
How that would look like in your eyes? That's something to keep asking. Let me write it down. How would moral consideration look like your eyes? By the way, walking and writing at the same time, weird skill to have.
Or what that should look like.
Probably like, how we treat our dogs and our cats and any pets that we have in our home. Yeah.
And how do we treat them?
We treat them well, and we feed them, the food or food that we have, but at the same time we only have resources for one dog or one cat or something. We don't have the resources for the millions or billions of factory farmed animals there are out there.
No, certainly we couldn't look after them in our homes like we do with dogs and cats. But that point aside, I guess the reason I asked that question was because we don't do things to dogs and cats, which we do to pigs, cows, chickens, marine animals, and all the other animals we exploit and kill. And so if we're saying that the moral consideration these animals deserve is somewhat akin to dogs and cats, and whilst surely it's of course true we can't look after them in our homes, and that wouldn't just be a wise thing to do anyway, does that not mean that what we do to animals through farming and exploiting them contradicts the moral values that you have towards animals. Because even though we can't look after them in our homes, we should at least have, not raise them into a system that exploits and harms them. Surely that should be the bare minimum.
But how are we going to have all the resources to care for all of these animals?
We don't care for them. We just don't breed them into existence. We stop breeding them.
So where would they go?
They wouldn't go anywhere. They wouldn't exist. These animals are selectively bred animals.
Sorry, the ones that do still exist. Yeah.
Well, the way I see it is this shift is going to be very slow. It's going to take decades if I'm lucky, hundreds of years if I'm not. And so, because it works somewhat in a system of supply and demand, it's not quite as clear as that. There are, subsidy policies and stuff that murky the water a little bit. But mostly, if you think about animal agriculture as a system of supply and demand, as more people go vegan, what that should translate to over time is less animals being bred into existence. So if we do reach a point where the majority of the world is vegan, or dare I say, we have a vegan society, let's say, that's a society which we've got to gradually, and as we've got to that point, the number of animals we've bred has decreased somewhat proportionally, and now we've reached a point of kind of stability where we have some animals left, and maybe they could live on sanctuaries. Maybe they could be people's pets in their, in the land that they have. But fundamentally, we wouldn't have the 83 billion land animals that we currently farm and kill every single year. We'd have a much smaller number, which would be more manageable because of this changing proportional, the changing supply and demand system that's proportional to the rise of veganism. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
So,
I do like this formulation that Ed said. The number of animals that we breed into existence to exploit is proportional to the demand that we create. Because that's something you can say to people who always constantly demand, who always constantly refuse to accept the responsibility they have, right? Like, that's not something you can dismiss, that the number of animals we exploit is proportionate to the number of demand of that exploitation.
If animals deserve moral consideration, and the moral consideration they deserve, or we perceive that they deserve, contradicts what we actually do to them right now, does that not mean that we're living in disalignment with the moral values that we say that we have?
I suppose so, yeah.
And with that in mind, what do you think that you should do, or will do?
I suppose I should try to start eating vegan.
Right. And I guess the reason for that is because morally it's preferable. Would you say that?
Yes. Morally it's preferable, yes.
Okay, that's good. It's hard to kind of like ascertain where we should potentially go next. We've had a really interesting conversation, and we've reached a lot of commonality at the end. And I guess part of one of the things I would say is, hey, I'll give you some resources, have a nice life, Jason. But I feel like maybe because we've reached this point of commonality, there is further exploration that maybe we could kind of pursue together. And I guess I'm wondering, why do you think that we do live in disalignment with our values? Most of us are against animal suffering. Most of us think that people who kick dogs are morally abhorrent people, or who, perform acts of, bestiality on animals are terribly immoral people. And yet, for some reason, whilst we may say these things are immoral, we have a system which causes more suffering and harm to animals than has ever existed. Right now we cause more harm to animals than we ever have at any point in our history. And yet we're all against animal suffering and animal cruelty. So why do you think that is the case? Why do you think we live in such disalignment?
I think, one of the big reasons for it is I, haven't had too many interactions myself with a cow or a pig or a chicken. Another reason is just that we don't, it's already ingrained into our culture, this sort of, eating hamburgers and fried chicken and stuff, and a lot of people are resistant to that kind of change.
Yeah. You've absolutely hit the nail on the head. The two biggest things, culture and disconnection, right? Culturally, it's normalized, so we don't question it. And then because we're disconnected from the process and don't have to engage with it, we can, hide our conscience, we can hide it away. With culture, do you think that something is morally justified simply because it's cultural?
It's interesting that after the conversation about his responsibility, he goes more into this conversation about society. I think that makes it for a really good conversation. So that's kind of nice. A nice way of doing it. Honestly, it's always hard to comment on Earthling Ed's videos, isn't it? Because he does a pretty good job, like pretty damn good job.
I think that's a big thing of debate, especially among anthropologists. that, you know, so I mean, let's take this from an outside perspective here. If we go to like some remote tribe in like the Amazon and stuff, and they're like sacrificing people, would you jump in and stop that?
If they were sacrificing humans, I would try and advocate for them to stop.
Even if they were their own humans, part of that culture?
Yeah. Some things transcend culture. I would try to stop female genital mutilation. There are many things that are cultural but should definitely be stopped. Would you agree or disagree?
No, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. And I guess with the cultural thing, you know, eating meat is so ingrained and is so cultural, but at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that it's moral simply because it's cultural, because culture is transient. It's always changing, always evolving, always adapting, hopefully for the better. And then obviously we're disconnected, aren't we? Do you think that if we were more connected with what we do to animals, like we had to do ourselves, or we had to look at footage, or, you know, we were at least, you know, visually aware of what was going on, do you think more people would be likely to stop causing harm to animals?
I want to say yes. I think that sort of is already very prevalent in our society, and I think people see it and then they are sad about it and then they forget about it the next day. So I don't know, maybe more that's the answer to get it more ingrained in their head, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's kind of like repetition is so important to learning, isn't it? You know, when we hear something for the first time, it's very unlikely that we're going to retain that information and, you know, and use it productively. We need constant repetition of facts and statistics and information before it really sets in. So repetition is important, and I suppose, you know, I think people being more aware of what happens could only be a good thing, really.
It's also why I think a lot more people should be activists. Repetition is very important, and more people being confronted with this idea that not being vegan is not okay is a very important part of getting more people to change and no longer exploit innocent animals. Yeah, that's a very valid point.
And so I suppose with that in mind, if disconnection is potentially the biggest driver of why we do what we do to animals, because we're just simply not thinking about it consciously, I wonder if one of the ways to make it easier, if you are interested in making some changes and you are interested in trying veganism, one of the things that always helped me was just reflecting for a moment. You know, I watched some footage, and then next time I was in a supermarket or I was in a restaurant or wherever it might be, and I had the option to buy an animal product, instead of just instinctually doing it or habitually doing it, I would take a moment to pause and reflect on that and go, hang on a minute, how does this align with my morals? Because that's the thing, we never critically reflect, do we? And we never take a time, you know, the moment just to go, what does my moral code say about this? So I wonder, do you think that being more connected with the choices that you're making would make it easier for you?
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Cool. I mean, you've been very kind, and I really appreciate your time, and we've, you know, hopefully you've enjoyed the conversation. What I'd love to do, Jason, if that's okay with you, is just give you some resources, and then just, you know, give it a go. You know, take it day by day, meal by meal. Just eat plant-based every single day, keep committing to it, and then hopefully those habits and routines and norms begin to evolve over time, and hopefully your friends will share that joy with you as they go to places with plant-based options as well. All right, thanks, Jason. I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
It's a good conversation, wasn't it? Stop the fan. It's a pretty good conversation, huh? Earthling is a master of conversations. I didn't feel like he made any new specifically nice arguments, like how would moral consideration look like to you? That's I wrote it down, and I will steal that and I will use it. But that was a pretty nice conversation. I think I might just go. I think we're done with everything, and yeah, there is the documentary from Humane Hancock, which I think I want to watch also. Oh, there is Mel and Steve's video. Why would a vegan go to a slaughterhouse? That's an interesting video also. So a lot of cool videos coming out recently, huh? There's a lot of cool people. Cheap the Thief. Yeah, Linda. Stealing arguments from others. I've been learning from Earthling a lot. Like, yeah, Ed's great, but he doesn't mention exploitation, though. I think the reason why Ed doesn't mention a lot of exploitation is because a lot of people don't really understand what exploitation is. I think he tries to make it seem as clear as possible to the people that he's speaking to, and maybe in the other conversations he has, he actually does mention exploitation a lot more. So it's hard to say. Highlight of the day, if I could chip in. That was funny, Renee. Yeah, if I could chip in. I'll be showing Humane Hancock's video on Friday to our We the Free team. Oh, that's cool. That's cool, David. That's very cool. Save the plants. Okay, well, go vegan then, because you kill less plants in the process. I learned from watching others. Same, Raven. That's very, very important, yeah. Sleep well? Nah, Linda, I'm going to go to work after this. Is Ed a welfarist? No, he's not. He's an abolitionist. He's very much an abolitionist. You're enslaving plants? Well, by that logic, you're enslaving more plants, because we have to produce way more plants to feed the animals. I think exploitation is misunderstood because in the human context, it means often unfair work conditions, which would mean what we do to the animals just needs to be done differently. Yeah, that's true, Renee. That's true. Exploitation can backfire in that matter. You're right about that. But it's very difficult to understand who you're speaking to about, right? That's why I think it's very good to ease into it, right? To ease into whether it is exploitative or not, whether this person will understand the fact that what exploitation is or not. As humans, we have the right to use this planet as we want. Jesus Christ, man. This person Mike makes right all of a sudden. Like, it's funny to me that there's people like this, Sassy the Sasquatch. It's funny because not long ago, well, actually very long ago, humans, there wasn't just one species of humans. There weren't just humans on this planet who had kind of the same power. But all of a sudden, because we band together and we now have power over everyone, all of a sudden we say we have right to do whatever we want to everyone. But that's not how it works, right? This planet belongs to everyone, and you know, the life of an innocent animal belongs to them, and it's their right to do whatever they want with their life without you choosing to exploit and slaughter them. And if it doesn't do anything wrong to anybody else, there's no reason why I think you should intervene. So in the same manner, Sassy the Sasquatch, I don't think if somebody has power over you, you would say that all of a sudden they have the right to do whatever they want to you. It doesn't work that way, or morals don't work that way. Or if they do, then you could justify, again, every form of injustice you could justify it by saying might makes right, because all forms of injustice come from this mentality of might makes right. Yeah, thank you. Might makes right, you see? All forms of mentality. So then Sassy the Sasquatch, it seems like you're also for slavery, right? Like you think slavery was moral because we had power over the different ethnicities, therefore it was justified to enslave them. You also probably think the fact that women didn't have rights was right because men had power, therefore it was justified to do whatever they wanted, right? You don't care? Yeah, well, sounds about right. It sounds like about like a bigoted position. It wouldn't surprise me that the fact that you're a bigot. It doesn't really surprise me, the fact that you're a bigot. Maybe you know, maybe stop being a bigot. Not and I don't say this word lightly, right? But you really are a bigot. You're basically too weak to ever the better yourself. I don't know what that means, but maybe rephrase that, Cyrus, and then I see we got a new batch of butthurt people, huh? Yeah. Yeah, there will always be people like that, everyone. There will always be people like that. Butthurt people. I think I need to eat a little bit more because I just had a quick lunch here with you guys on the stream. Yeah. Yeah, I'm watching, if, I don't know if we should watch maybe Mel and Steve's, or should we go? Just go. But yeah. Cyrus, you seem to be very triggered. Maybe take it down a notch, okay? What do you mean you are subordinating me to your moral standards and I don't get to enjoy them without making any efforts in my life? You mean you are subordinating me to your moral standards and I don't get to enjoy them without making any efforts in my life? I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe I don't get it. Sorry, I got tired after this whole stream. Yeah. I'm gonna go get back to work. Maybe eat something. Yeah, I definitely should eat something. That's why I keep yawning. I always yawn when I'm hungry. Because all people want to be the heroes of their story. Yeah. Yeah. This dude is extremely gay. Thank you. Gay means cool on this channel, so thank you for that. I am very cool. You're right about that. I am very cool. I am very smart. I am very sexy, very young, handsome, all of that. So thank you for that. Because gay means all of that stuff. So I appreciate it. Thank you, lady, for calling me cool. I always appreciate it when people call me cool. I love how they come with no arguments and no answers to killing innocent beings. Yeah, Iron, that's their whole argument, isn't it? They always... Yeah. I thought yawning meant needing sleep, not food. Not for me. For me, yawning also means food. Especially after I've been walking for 10 kilometers on a treadmill and debating people. It just means I need a break, I guess, and then to start going back to work. So that's what we'll be doing. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Chip, you are so cool. I appreciate Chip, yeah. I'll go back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing some outreach with Lodewijk. We'll be having some good conversation. It will be very hot outside, so yeah, you have a very strange body language. I think it's just when you get tired, you yawn, and if I don't eat enough, I get tired, and I'm already very low body fat. Like you see striations of muscles and such. See, even like in the shoulder, you see. So I'm very low body fat, so I think because of that, my body's like, dude, fucking eat something. I don't know why. Either way, thank you everyone for being here. I'll see you tomorrow when we'll do some outreach with Lodewijk. I want to give a shout out to Tone. Tone was the first person to comment on the last stream. In case you don't know, we give shout outs to people who comment on the stream after we end it. Tone was the first to comment, so shout out to Tone. Hell yeah, Tone. Nice, first. And who was first today? Was it Martin? No, it was Felek. Felek was first. And a shout out to Felek for being the first to comment in the chat. We also give shout out to that. So thank you for that. And also shout out to all the moderators. I think you're doing an excellent job. Linda, I did stop the automatic moderation because you told me you hate it. I stopped it in the middle of the stream. Yeah. Well, you may be an asshole about humanity, number one. No, you don't care about humans also, Sassy. If you care about humans, you wouldn't put children or people, forcing people to work in slaughterhouses where they suffer from PTSD, where they end up having violent thoughts, and where they end up performing violence towards other humans. If you cared about humans, you wouldn't force them in that situation, but you don't. It's just a coping mechanism where you say, I care about humans, therefore it's somehow justified to slaughter animals. It's not. You can care about humans and not slaughter animals at the same time. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. I keep saying it, but we will see each other tomorrow. We'll have some good outreach there, and yeah. Happy birthday, David, huh? Can we get some happy birthdays to David? He's an amazing guy. He does so much outreach. He does so much for the animals. He works so much. A lot of the times we don't even see what he does, but he's such an amazing worker for the animals. Yeah. Yeah, look at this, everyone. Poor weaklings crying over blood and meat. And this is the person who says they care about humans, by the way, right? And this is the response when I said that they're making slaughterhouse worker have PTSD and violent thoughts. And the fact that they're causing domestic violence. This person right here, when they call the police, I hope the police start saying the same thing to you. Oh, poor weakling. Is somebody trying to stab you? Oh, poor weakling. Yeah, you're right about that. You are very pathetic, Sassy. You are very pathetic. You're right about that. But yeah, 40 rocks. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I hope we do better by the animals. And, you know, we'll always have these trolls in here. We'll always have these people who will want to abuse animals, and they'll think that they're doing it for something, but they're not. We all know it, right?